Andy Kim, a D and an R, walking in together. Oh, there's John Fetterman, of course. There's Susan Collins. Who was that next to her? Did you see, was that Michael Bennett?
I thought it was Michael Bennett.
Yeah, you thought it was too, of Colorado? Yeah. Yeah.
And
this is the staff.
And it looks like a traffic jam too.
Yeah.
It does, yes. Now all the senators, they will walk. Maybe they haven't let them in yet.
Right.
Because they haven't turned on the lights and maybe they like to walk in with the lights on and everything. But now we can see the president coming up, and now it's a little crowded in Stat Hall there. You can see that's, 25 steps from the House chamber. So
what's also notable about John Cornyn, we just saw, is the president has not endorsed in that Texas GOP primary.
All three, right?
He likes all three. He is friendly with Attorney General Paxton. He also has a relationship with Congressman Hunt. And then John Cornyn, who's the sitting senator, has not been endorsed. And from my hearing and reporting is that that's given some GOP leadership, some GOP donors, a lot of heartburn about what could happen in this primary. Does it go to a very expensive runoff? And are any of the Democrats formidable candidates enough that depending on whichever Republican wins, could they take them on?
Now we're still waiting on members of the cabinet to come in. Now we heard earlier that Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence, came in, but I don't think the entire cabinet came in at that point. We're waiting on the diplomatic corps. We're waiting on the military, the Supreme Court justices. Out of the 9, it'll be interesting to see who does come. Now, Samuel Alito usually does not attend these events. However, there's speculation that this is his last year.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a book coming out in October. So who knows? Here's Speaker Johnson.
And United States Senate.
Well, the House lights have come on. We're about 25 minutes away from the start of the State of the Union speech, and we are going to say goodbye to C-SPAN 2 now, and we are no longer going to simulcast. Over on C-SPAN 2, you can see the sights and sounds, no commentary, no input whatsoever. It's just all the sights and sounds of the State of the Union. You'll be able to watch everything and not have to listen to anybody. But we'd prefer, of course, you'd stay here with us, because here on C-SPAN, we have conversation, we have commentary, we have your calls, and we have 2 excellent journalists with us here tonight, Alex Gangitano of Politico and Marissa Schultz of the New York Post. They will be with us until the start of the speech, and we will kind of annotate and comment on what is going on the House floor. We expect the president to be arriving very shortly, and let's look in, see if we can see anything right now. There we go. Don Barrasso, Dick Durbin. Is that Dick Durbin with him, I think?
Yeah.
J.D. Vance right behind him?
Dick Durbin.
Yeah, that is. He's retiring this year.
And in leadership, so.
Strong D, he's been very critical of the Trump administration.
The Democrat side does look sparse from all the House members that aren't there.
Somebody getting their picture taken with the vice president. I don't recognize him, I'm afraid. I'm sorry.
I'm sure this is a bit of a homecoming for Vice President Vance, seeing all of his former Senate colleagues
Right.
that he's built relationships with for years.
You also have to wonder what's going through his head of, would this be a State of the Union I'd be delivering one day if he has political aspirations beyond this?
It looks like the Joint Chiefs are arriving. It was interesting when we talked to Alex Eisenstadt a little bit earlier. He said, yeah, they're getting ready to leave. We hear the helicopters, et cetera. We hear the sirens.
It is such a huge security event here in DC. I mean,
It-
just the
this is-
roads around here. And
It's so interesting that this is all happening during this DHS shutdown as well.
Yes.
And the DHS is in charge of things like Secret Service and federal security and Homeland Security. And this is a major event for them. So I would imagine a lot of these workers who spent a lot of time and energy into putting this event on tonight are going unpaid because of the shutdown.
It's a great point.
Speaker Johnson, of course, and J.D. Vance up at the last year. There was a hot mic moment for these two, I believe, where they were talking about the speech, and it wasn't necessarily a complimentary thing,
Yeah.
and a little bit of a hot mic.
What's interesting when it's a opposing party who's the House leadership right now, of course, Johnson and Vance have a good relationship, but in the future, could that be a Democrat up there chatting with Vance before the speech? That's always very interesting to watch.
And when Nancy Pelosi was the
Yeah.
speaker, it was always very interesting to see the chemistry or lack thereof.
Her and Mike Pence's
Yeah, some of
dynamics up there.
Yeah. There's some of the that looks like the press corps.
Yeah.
It sits behind
Mm-hmm.
the
That's
speaker.
right. So they're looking at
Yeah, they're
the
looking
president.
down at the they're behind the president where that clock is. That's behind the speaker, so they're right. It's kind of almost the cheap seats in a sense.
Yeah.
You don't have the view. It's behind the stage.
As a reporter, though,
sense.
it's great to see the interactions.
Have
of
you
the
been up
members
in
of-
that sitting up
Yes.
there as a reporter? What's that
Yeah.
like?
Well,
You-
yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say you can hear a lot, surprisingly. So there's moments if there's like arguments on the floor or things that are happening, you can kind of listen closely and hear. But it's great to see them interact with each other.
Mhm.
And while you may not see the president right underneath you, you can see you could see fashion statements that people are making in the audience. You can see signs that they're holding and whatnot.
Exactly. And also we rely on our colleagues in the room to tell us who was that who yelled out and so stand for this thing the president said. And so they're kind of the whole outlet's eyes in the room because they only have one reporter per outlet, I think. who can
There's
be inside.
Senator Warnock walking in with his colleague up for re-election, John Ossoff.
Here's a
Jack Reed
Bipartisan
is
duo.
with from North
John
Dakota.
Hoeven.
Yeah, from
That's
North
an interesting
Dakota.
one.
Jack Reed from Rhode Island. His state got slammed, 40 inches of
Yeah.
snow. And there's Jean Shaheen, who is retired, Democrat from New Hampshire. She is retiring, so that sets up a pretty strong race in New Hampshire, doesn't it? Or is
Yeah.
that with Andy Kim of New Jersey there?
That's
like
Is that a pretty strong? Is that a potential GOP take?
yes, that's a
John
race.
Thune, of course, there on your screen.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's definitely a race that Republicans feel like they can go on offense in New Hampshire.
And there was a Senator Jody of Iowa,
Joni Ernst.
Joni Ernst, and she too is retiring. There's Byron Donalds running for governor of Florida. He's got the Trump endorsement, and he has a lead in the polls at this point. But Joni Ernst retiring in Iowa, is that a potential Democratic pickup?
I would say the candidate right now that's leading the way and is quite a favorite. She is Ashley Hinson, and she's really dynamic. She's
An
former-
R, right?
an R. She's a
Right.
Republican. She's dynamic, and she has a lot of backers, and she's viewed as a really strong candidate for Republicans.
Behind Ted Cruz there, I think I saw the chaplain,
yes,
Admiral Barry Black. Barry Black,
That's right. Yep.
Yes.
Longtime chaplain
Yep.
of the Senate.
Opens with a prayer and is there as a spiritual advisor for the Senate
That's right.
throughout the year. Yeah.
It's always interesting how long it also takes for everybody to get to
Yeah,
their seat with,
we saw the Senate about 10 minutes
Right.
ago, and it's standing outside. They're making their way down.
with everyone
House
together.
members, of course, can get in whatever time they want, and they can line the aisle if they want to shake hands with
Right.
everybody. If they have a There's John Fetterman. They have a 30-second lobbying message for anybody. They can line the hall there and
That's right.
get in there early. John Fetterman has he caused consternation with his Democratic Party?
Well, interestingly, he was one of the first and only Democrats that the president was in touch with when he became president. I remember he had said, "Oh, he kind of seems like a good guy," and we've had a conversation. He's also someone who I think Leader Schumer is concerned every time there's an important vote of where's Fetterman going to go on this. He doesn't. He
Kind of like maybe Thune thinks about Susan Collins or Lisa
that's
McCaskey.
exactly right.
And there's Katie Britt of Alabama coming
that's
in, Republican.
Florida.
Ashley Moody, I think.
Oh,
that is.
Ashley Moody, I am so sorry. My eyes are getting old, I guess. And there's Susan Collins, of course. And that is Michael Bennett she's with,
No, I
isn't it?
think it's
Oh,
Ohio.
John
Houston.
Houston. Yeah, there you go.
We'll get there
Who we talked
eventually.
about,
It
who
takes
we
three-
talked about a little bit earlier. Look, it's a white guy in a suit. You know?
Yeah.
But we had talked about that race a little bit earlier with one of the callers and whether or not he's running against Sherrod Brown, the former senator,
Right.
who got beat by Bernie Moreno.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's very
Oh,
very
it's
complicated.
Cassidy.
there.
Cassidy,
He's an
yeah.
interesting one who
He is.
will want to hear what the president's plan on healthcare is. There was
The
rumblings
president has
about
endorsed
that.
his primary
That's
opponent,
right.
hasn't
That
he?
is correct.
Yeah,
Julie let go, and
yeah. There's Lisa Murkowski.
that's another one who the president, for the War Powers vote
Yeah.
at the beginning to advance that, said that she should never be in office again. She was one of the 5 who voted to advance that measure.
She's had an independent streak throughout. In fact, she won as an independent a re-election because of her popularity in the state of Alaska.
I do see some white in the Democrat audience of women wanting to wear white outfits.
What is the significance of the wearing of the white
the
for
women's
the Democratic
suffrage
women's
movement?
suffrage?
And I feel like they have done that for several years now. It seems that it's kind of become a State of the Union tradition for women of Congress to want to wear white.
To put this into context, the first Senate televised State of the Union was in 1947 with Harry Truman. Okay,
Mm.
women had only won the right to vote 27 years earlier,
Right.
in 1920. That was the first national election that women could vote in, and they voted overwhelmingly for the Republican Warren Harding
Mm.
because he had championed the suffrage movement, and Woodrow Wilson had not. So.
There was this really iconic moment of women wearing white in Trump's first term.
Mhm.
It was after Democrats took back the House and Speaker Pelosi became Speaker all over again. And this was after the 2018 midterms. And a record number of women had won election. President Trump tried to do a nice thing of like recognizing that during his speech. He noted all the women in the audience and the record. And all these women in white stood up and they started chanting USA, USA, USA.
Mm.
And it was really big moment, but it was also a rare moment of sort of unity that I don't know if Trump was inspiring, but it sort of set off there in the moment.
Well, we've learned that President and Mrs. Trump have arrived at the Capitol, and that entrance that they will be going in is not far at all
Right.
from the House chamber. But there will be some pomp and circumstance to get him into the House chamber. I think first we'll see Mrs. Trump enter into the visitors gallery. There'll be applause, and she'll enter into her assigned seat and with her guests, and we'll see that.
And which of the Trump
And
children?
there's
I
Amy
think most of-
Klobuchar running for governor of Minnesota, and she's ahead in the polls. She's got about 50% average right now in the polls for governor since Tim Walz isn't running.
chatting with a Republican, John Curtis from Utah.
And was that Tom Emmer behind her, one of the Republican House leaders? He's from Minnesota as well, but he's one of
Right.
the Republican House leaders. I'm sure delegations within a state, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, are more friendly than we see sometimes in
Yes.
the battle. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, sometimes delegations will do delegation lunches or events, and you build some camaraderie around an issue that your state cares about when you need to get bipartisan support for something. So there tends to be a little bit more friendliness between R's and D's if you're fighting for the same issues in your state.
Mm-hmm. And
Yep.
we were speaking about women in office last year, and now this year is a long time in a while that there wasn't a woman up at the podium. We had Vice President Harris up during the Biden years, Speaker Pelosi during Trump,
And some years, both of them.
and
Two
both
women.
women. So
Yeah.
this is the second year in a long time that we haven't seen that. And I think it was when former Speaker Pelosi was first elected, it was former President George W. Bush who gave her a huge recognition during his State of the Union to say this is the first female Speaker of the House. We'll see in this, as you mentioned, the president in his first term mentioned how many women were elected that election year. We'll see if there is kind of a bipartisan display of sorts this year, something along those lines.
One thing I just noticed, Senator Mark Kelly is there, and he's this interesting character because he's one of these 6 Democrats that put out the video telling members of the military to not follow illegal orders. And that set off attempts to prosecute them and to bring some military charges. And he's going to be face to face with President Trump tonight in this chamber.
And just a minute ago, you saw 2 retiring members, Steny Hoyer of Maryland, former majority leader, talking to Gerald Nadler, former chair of the Judiciary Committee from New York, both retiring. George Conway, in fact, and there's Hakeem Jeffries, the head of the Democrats, potential speaker if
The joint session will come to order. The chair appoints as members of the committee on the part of the House to escort the President of the United States into the chamber. The gentleman from Louisiana, Mr. Scalise. The gentleman from Minnesota, Mr. Emmer. The gentlewoman from Michigan, Mrs. McClain. The gentleman from North Carolina, Mr. Hudson. The gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Reschenthaler. The gentleman from Utah, Mr. Moore. The gentlewoman from Indiana, Mrs. Houchin. The gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Hearn. The gentleman from New York, Mr. Jeffries. The gentleman from California, Mr. Aguilar. The gentleman from California, Mr. Liu. The gentlewoman from Washington, Mrs. Delbene. The gentlewoman from Michigan, Mrs. Dingle.
The President of the Senate, at the direction of that body, appoints the following senators as members of the committee on the part of the Senate to escort the President of the United States into the House chamber. The senator from South Dakota, Mr. Thune. The senator from Wyoming, Mr. Barrasso. The senator from Arkansas, Mr. Cotton. The senator from West Virginia, Mrs. Capito. The senator from Oklahoma, Mr. Langford. The senator from South Carolina, Mr. Scott. The senator from New York, Mr. Schumer. The senator from Illinois, Mr. Durbin. And the senator from Minnesota, Ms. Klobuchar.
The members of the escort committee will exit the chamber through the lobby doors.
All
Mr.
right.
Speaker, the acting dean of the Diplomatic Corps.
And we are live. The speech and the president should be entering in about 8-10 minutes or so. The dean of the Diplomatic Corps, by the way, is Percy Kayota. He is the ambassador of Palau, and he has been in office since 1997. The dean is the longest serving ambassador in Washington. It's an honorary title, but then many ambassadors will attend this. In just a minute, you'll hear the Supreme Court announced. They are next up. So this should be interesting to see which of the 9 come in. Who do you think will be there?
I definitely think Kavanaugh will be there. Justice Kavanaugh, President Trump really sung his praises last week for his dissent in this tariff ruling. He said Justice Kavanaugh's stock is rising. So if I'm putting my money on anyone, it would be Justice Kavanaugh being among the justices there.
And Chief Justice Roberts almost has to attend.
Yeah, I think I was trying to think if he has to or if it's more of a given that he has to. I think we will actually see all three of the justices that the president got in his last term, even though Neil Gorsuch and Amy Coney Barrett are not in the president's good graces right now. I think they'll still want to sit there and listen to what he has to say. And I think, to your point, if this is Justice Alito's last State of the Union, I think he'd want to be there as well. Although, like we talked about, he sometimes skips these.
And there was the dip.
Mr. Speaker, the Chief Justice and Associate Justices of the Supreme Court.
And we are still here with Alex Gantitano and Marissa Schultz, two reporters who have been with us all night. So we had a little fun game there watching the Supreme Court come in. 4 members came in, Alex.
That's right. As we predicted, Kavanaugh is there. We know the president is very happy with him on that tariff ruling, that he sided with him. But Coney Barrett on the other side, the president is not so happy with, yet she wanted to be there. Of course, he appointed her in his first term. So I think she's curious what he has. She's one of the newer members, curious what the president has to say. But yeah, only 4 of them in there tonight.
Marissa Schultz, our colleague, Greta Bronner, noted that John Fetterman, D of Pennsylvania, is wearing a suit tonight.
Oh, that is notable.
Well, I think you have to wear a suit and tie,
Yeah.
Right.
or at least, I mean, he had a full suit on, but you have to wear a tie in either chamber still for the men.
Yeah, loyal C-SPAN viewers will know he's known for his casual dress, hoodies, shorts,
And at committee
Carhartts.
meetings too, right?
Jim Shorts, yeah.
All right, so we've had the diplomatic corps, we've had the Supreme Court. I'm guessing that the cabinet will be next before the president. It is now 8:56 here on the East Coast, 8:57. The speech is due to start at 9. We're kind of on time here, but we do have some more to come in. But I would say within 5 minutes of 9 o'clock, somebody will come to the door. The clerk will come to the door. Mr. Speaker, the
Yeah.
President of the United States. Let's see if we can hear Mr.
Justice
Kavanaugh.
How are you? Good to see you again.
And there's Mrs. Vance.
Lady
Yeah.
Vance.
And she's due with their 4th in July, I
right.
believe it is.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah. She's there. And we have not seen Mrs. Trump enter yet.
Oh, there's Senator Kelly.
Is he talking with the Supreme Court? He's
Oh,
talking with
interesting.
Elena Kagan.
Yeah, it looks like he's waiting to.
She's the
head over
senior
there.
justice who was appointed by a Democratic president, I believe.
And the only Democratic liberal justice in the chamber tonight.
Oh, we've
Yeah,
got.
the only one in the chamber. Oh,
Right.
there's Ivanka and Barron.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Barron Trump, the president's youngest son, and Ivanka Trump, who used to serve in the first administration.
Up from Florida. She lives in Florida now. And of course, her husband is very active in the Middle East.
That was policy, yeah.
Here
I imagine
comes-
he's in the chamber.
Let's see who's coming. Is that must be Mrs. Trump. There she is.
And with some of the guests that she brought.
She announced earlier that she was bringing 2 young female students who exemplify two of her policies related to AI education and foster youth services. You can see how Barron Trump just cowers
Wow.
over it.
And he's a what, second year at NYU?
That's right.
Okay, everybody. So happy that I have even 12 people on here, and it's awesome. And thanks for hosting this, Jared. Thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you. And
Now, maybe
looks
we
like we're
can
getting ready to
glean
get started right now.
who
I
the,
am one
designated
person. I am going to be
survivor
doing the absolute best that I can to fact check everything for you. Okay, I can already tell you, I'm pretty sure he's going to be talking about how great his tariffs are, his prescription drug costs. You know, he says he's brought those down.
Oh, I think I see
Pam,
Bonnie.
Pam Bondi.
You know, housing,
Well, those are the big
utilities,
ones. Not having them in the
jobs,
room. would be
manufacturing,
good.
Yeah, before RFK
immigration,
Jr.,
and
Secretary
doing
Turner.
spending.
Secretary
And
There's Lori
thinking about the
Chavez
food spending
Ramirez.
and personal
A little
finances,
bit of
just it
controversy.
gets me.
I see that they
it-
dropped the
it-
charges though against her husband.
It bothers me
If you're
so much.
interested, you can go to Politico and type in labor
when if
secretary.
we
You
get
can
there,
read the story.
I will make
There were some
sure
charges
that
filed
you guys
against her
have
husband,
what you need. So I'm going to be
sexual
sure. I'm not only going to be like
harassment
telling
charges,
you
but they have
what
been
he's saying
dropped.
is
There's,
right or
Linda
wrong.
McMahon,
I will show you.
There's
Okay, I
Secretary
will do my
Noem,
absolute best to
DHS,
actually provide you with
Susie Wild.
a
That's
screen
Chief
share
of
of
Staff
a
behind
reputable
Secretary Noem.
article
That's Susie
or an
Wild,
actual
daughter
government
of
document that
Pat
is
Summerall,
stating
the longtime
if they
sports
were
broadcaster.
correct, if he's saying
It's always a
something
really interesting story. There's
correct
Lee
or
Zeldin.
incorrect. So when something does happen,
Yeah,
I
and
will
Doug
be
Burgum as well.
No
obviously
interior.
doing the
was there.
background work. I've done a lot of it already, but
Oh,
just in case,
Yeah,
Russ
that's
Vogt.
the reason I'm not hitting it right away
Thank-
is
thank
because
you.
I
I
am
wasn't
going to be
sure which
finding the
one.
information for you. And I also want to say that if
Oh,
he's
very
talking
much
so, you know how he is. He talks, he like, you know, it's gibberish, and then he'll start talking about like butterflies and
Yep, there she
you know
is.
things
Kind
like
of a
that, and then
Kelly
go
Bird,
off
too,
to
former
somehow butterflies
House
bring you
member.
to Afghanistan,
Democrat from
Iraq, or
Hawaii,
whatever.
in fact.
So you know, if something
so I'm
happens or
noting
a
we haven't
question,
seen Rick
something's
Rollins yet,
mentioned,
the
and
agriculture
I'm not getting to it
secretary.
because
And
I'm
do you
checking
know,
on
I
something
think
else.
Greta told us
Put it in the
earlier
chat,
that
and
the
I will
ag
see it
secretary
in
is
the
most
YouTube chat.
frequent designated survivor.
Oh, there
Oh.
she is,
Oh.
though.
Oh,
in front of the
there's Brooke.
screen.
Brooke
And
Rollins
Secretary
is there.
Lutnick, and then
Lutnick is there. Commerce.
behind
Oh.
Rollins.
Transportation. We saw Scott
Duffy, Sean
Duffy.
Duffy.
Sean Duffy. Sorry.
Jameson Greer,
That was
USG
Scott
Bar.
Turner in front of him of HUD,
And then we have Kelly Loeffler.
Small Business
I
Administration.
I was banking on her being. I don't know why, but that's who I guessed.
Well, my guess before was Chris Wright of Energy. I don't think we've seen
Oh,
him yet.
that's a good one. We
Oh.
I
haven't
could
seen
be the
him.
winner of the 50 cents. Here.
Oh, wait, is that
Oh wait,
or is
I
that
think
Chris
that's him
behind
right
him?
there. Yeah.
who's behind him? Yeah.
I don't think we have a
Behind Sean
designated
Duffy.
survivor.
I think Christine
tonight.
Secretary, right?
Because Kelly Loeffler of Small
So it
Business.
seems
she
as
was
if
a former
Trump's
senator from Georgia
objective
who got
here is
defeated.
Bill
by John
Clinton's
Ossoff.
State of the Union
It'd be interesting if we see any
speech, which I
FCNI
believe is an hour and 30 minutes. So I think
CIA.
he's shooting for about an hour and 45 on
Ratcliffe, former member
this
of the
State of
House
the
from
Union.
Texas.
So this will be a long one.
Woodcock.
I've got Red Bull, I've got Coke. I haven't had a pizza
yeah.
for my
Advisor.
birthday. So I'm going to be spending my birthday with you guys and
Going to,
doing
peace talks
this,
with
which is
our
awesome.
nuclear talks with Iran.
And
on
let me know if you have any
It's
questions.
so
I
interesting.
will be
John
looking at
Ratcliffe
the
used to
chat.
be
If
on
you're
all
watching this
cable
on
news channels
Substack,
on a
I
frequent
will
basis,
not be able to
and
see
then he
your
became CIA
questions.
director.
So
Haven't seen
please
him since. So he was a member of Congress. He
send
was
them as
always
messages, and I'll get back to you with answers later. Or you can
In
come
terms of active,
subscribe to my Substack, and then come on over to
Isn't
my
on TV as
YouTube, and then
often as
subscribe to
some of
that,
them are.
and then you can
usually
watch
the
the comment
CIA
over here.
directors aren't.
That's true. It's a
awful.
job that's tricky to be on
Yeah.
the airwaves all the time. I'm interested if any
Is that John
Democrats.
Duncan? His left gray hair from Tennessee. Is that John Duncan's name? There? Yeah, longtime congressman from Tennessee. Oh, there's
Don Jr.
Don Jr.
I believe that was.
There's Susie Wiles again.
Christy Noem, some
Yeah,
fellow.
Christy Noem,
Some
Lee
members-
Zeldin.
Well, any
Russ
Democrats
Vogt is
get
there.
to
There's
talk
Duffy.
directly with Christy Noem, I think they'd have things
That's right.
they
Okay.
want to discuss.
Now, Rubio Hegseth. We have not seen Lori. Did we see Lori? Chavez DeRemer?
Yes, we
Okay.
did see her.
RFK. Chris Wright.
I
We
just
think we
never
saw him.
seen so
Doug
much people
Burgum.
in one
Brooke
room.
Rollins. Doug Collins.
Doug Collins,
Have we seen
VA.
Doug
Oh,
Collins?
he was a designated survivor last year. He could be.
Because we've seen McMahon, Zeldin, Lutnick, Bessent, Noem, Bondi, Gabbard, Turner, Duffy, and Loeffler.
Wow.
Woof.
Double duty, possibly
There
for
we go. I
the
think
VA
we got
secretary.
it. I think we got it.
Maybe
Doug
he
Collins.
enjoyed his time
All
so
right.
much, his
Yes.
alone time.
So
I'm
that
always
is
curious
cabinet
what they
now.
are doing
We
while
are
they just
just
hang out, watch the
waiting for the
speech.
doors to open
Now,
one
is
more
Doug
time.
Collins running for Senate in
We can get
Virginia
this show
or
on the
in
road.
Georgia? No. Okay.
I don't believe so. He did
Because I know
before.
there's a Republican primary. That's it. He did before.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is a Republican primary to take on Mr. Ossoff, who's up for re-election this year. And I don't think that's been decided.
There's a three-way primary that's pretty tight in Georgia. Buddy Carter, a member of Congress, Mike Collins, and
Mike Collins, that's it.
and then there's Mr. Dooley, who is, I believe, backed by Governor Kemp.
I think what's also notable is this is the same cabinet the president started with. This is the crew that walked down
Right.
last year
Nobody
for
has-
the joint session.
Nobody has left yet, has
There's
it?
obviously
Has it?
speculation over who will be the first, but yeah, we're now in February and everyone's intact.
And I didn't see Eric Trump with the family yet.
I
We saw
believe-
Don Jr., we saw Barron, we saw Ivanka. I don't think I've seen
I think they
Eric
planned.
or the other woman, the other young lady that is his family.
I believe I
Tiffany.
saw Tiffany,
Did you see
but I
Tiffany?
haven't seen Eric.
And I thought I saw Eric.
Tiffany was there. Tiffany was
And
there.
Eric's wife, former head of the RNC, she's often comes to these events as well.
Yeah,
Laura Trump.
she's got her own show now on Fox, doesn't she?
Mhm.
Yep. So it's 5 after 9. We're expecting a 2-hour speech. In a minute, clerk of the House will come in and say, Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States. Maybe some cheers, some boos. We'll listen to the President as he walks down the aisle. We hope we can hear better than we can hear during this portion. It's fun to watch everybody walk in. I mean, this is a big night in Washington, like you said. Huge security event because everybody is in one room. So Chuck Schumer and John Thune, Mike Johnson, the Vice President, the whole gang is, in that room now.
It looks like I'm always interested in who's grabbing the aisle seats to get the entrance greetings with the people coming down the center aisle.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
Leadership is behind him.
Mr. President.
Trying to keep them on time.
I'm gonna try a selfie.
Okay, dude, approach the podium. It's like one of those scenes in Family Guy where the guy, he's get hurt and he just goes, for like 2 minutes. And it's just like, okay, this is enough. This is enough. There we go. Keep going. There you go. There you go.
Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you the President of the United States.
And they're going to clap for another 5 minutes.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's really an honor. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, First Lady of the United States. Second Lady of the United States. Members of Congress and my fellow Americans, our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
Okay, so fact check one, that is false. I mean, prices are still going up. Drug prices have not come down. We're looking at more than 22 million Americans that are facing higher costs after ACA tax credits expired. That money now going to, they're trying to make it go to DHS.
In American history.
And the tariffs,
the 250th
that Trump put on the Americans is costing families on average about $1,700 a year. And that is more than double
2.5 centuries
what the average tax refund is, because that's roughly about $650.
In the most incredible and exceptional nation ever to exist on the face of the earth. And you've seen nothing yet. We're going to do better and better and better. This is the golden age of America.
And that is the most frightening thing I have heard today. One thing I do want to point out is when he's out here talking, he's not talking to us. He's not talking to, well, he's talking to Congress. But what he's really talking to is his millionaire and billionaire friends.
12 months ago, I had just inherited a nation in crisis with a stagnant economy, inflation at record levels, a wide open border, horrendous recruitment for military and police, rampant crime at home, and wars and chaos all over the world. But tonight, after just 1 year, I can say with dignity and pride that we have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before, and a turnaround for the ages. It is indeed a turnaround for the ages.
Okay, so I want to point out real quick, first of all, just from CBS, actually, employees have cut 1.1 million jobs just this year, by the way. And what's behind the wave of layoffs? So let's go ahead and open this guy up. Employees have cut 1.1 million jobs this year. Let me go ahead and
we will never go back to where we were just a very short time ago. We're not going back.
Well, that's sad.
Today, our border is secure.
So let me, I can't share another screen.
Thank you. Today, our border is secure.
To be able to share
our spirit is restored. Inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising fast. The roaring economy is roaring like never before. And our enemies are scared. Our military and police are stacked. And America is respected again, perhaps like never before.
Job growths have slowed this year by 75% from a year ago. I mean, the U.S. wraps up the worst non-recession year for hiring since 2003. That's according to Bloomberg.
After 4
The
years,
75% slow job growth
illegal
is
aliens
according
poured
to
across our borders,
NPR.
totally unvetted and unchecked. We now have the strongest and most secure border in American history by far.
He will continuously just keep talking about how the border is the most secure that
the
it's
past
ever
9
been. But
months,
what he's not going to be talking
zero
about is
illegal
the fact
aliens
that
have
courts
been
have
admitted to the
ruled
United States.
4,400 times that ICE jailed people illegally. And that hasn't stopped, by the way. That's still happening. That is according to Reuters. And more than 170 U.S. citizens have been held by immigration
that will love our
agents.
country and will
That's
work hard
according to
maintain
ProPublica.
our country.
And less than 14% of those arrested by ICE in Trump's first year back in office had violent criminal records. 14%.
The flow of
That is
deadly
it.
fentanyl across
Are the
our
ones that have
border is down
criminal
by a
records.
record 56% in 1 year.
I didn't catch that part.
And last year, the murder rate saw its single largest decline in recorded history. This is the biggest decline, think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over 125 years, year 1900. In fact, substantially before my wonderful father, I had a wonderful father, Fred, before he was born, substantially before he was born. That's a long time ago. He wouldn't like me to say that, but that's a long time ago. The Biden administration and its allies in Congress gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country. But in 12 months, my administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. And in the last 3 months of 2025, it was down to 1.7%.
I'm looking for it. Hold on.
Gasoline, which reached a peak of over $6 a gallon in some states under my predecessor, it was quite honestly a disaster, is now below $2.30 a gallon in most states. And
No,
in some places,
not true.
$1.99 a gallon. And when I visited the great state of Iowa just a few weeks ago,
Iowa, sure,
I even
okay.
saw $1.85 a gallon for gasoline.
Okay, I mean, I just filled up my tank, and my tank was $4 a gallon. I don't need to fact check that. I already know
Mortgage rates
that.
are the lowest in
Lord,
4
I need
years
a
and
drink
falling fast.
already. Yeah, I
And
screwed
the
up. I
annual
should have did
cost
that
of
too.
a typical new mortgage is down almost $5,000 just since I took office. 1 year. And low interest rates will solve the Biden-created housing problem well, at the same time protecting the values of those people who already own a house that really feel rich for the first time in their lives. We want to protect those values. We want to keep those values up.
If you
We're
own
gonna
a
do both.
home, please have a realtor do a free CMA for you, because he's talking
And we
about
are gonna
how
keep
our
it
home,
that
our
way.
house prices are protected. I
The
mean, we're
stock
looking to sell
market
our
is
house
at
right now and go and buy a house
53
a
all-time
little farther up
record highs
north.
since the election.
And
Think
I
of
can tell you
that.
right
1
now,
year.
our home values have dropped.
Boosting pensions,
So the whole
401ks,
fact that
and
he is, yeah,
retirement
sure, they've
accounts
lowered
for
interest
the
rates a little
millions
bit,
and
but it's not making a
millions
difference.
of
They're still super
Americans are
high.
all gaining. Everybody's up, way up. In 4 long years, the last administration got less than $1 trillion in new investment in the United States. And when I say less, substantially less. In 12 months, I secured commitments for more than $18 trillion pouring in from all over the globe.
Commitments that have not actually been secured as of yet. I mean, yeah, he talks about them, but I don't see them anywhere. The money that this man is getting for his administration for his friends,
much less than
is
$1
coming
trillion
from
for 4
you
years
buying
versus much
things
more
and
than
paying
$18
taxes
trillion
due
for
to the
1
tariffs.
year. What a difference a president makes. A short time ago, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world, the hottest.
So we are not the hottest country. In fact, 55% of nations around the world have stated that, one, they don't have faith in American politics. They don't have faith in President Trump being able to manage even the economy, let alone the geopolitical crazy landscape that we have around the world right now. So we are
jobs in just
so
a very
far
short
away from
period of
being
time. It's
the
getting bigger and bigger and stronger.
hottest country on
Nobody
earth.
can believe
We are
what they're watching.
the most hated
American oil
country
production
right
is
now,
up by more
and
than
I honestly have been all over the
600,000
world
barrels
last
a
year,
day, and we just
and
received
every
from our
country
new
that
friend
doesn't
and
hate us
partner,
is very concerned
Venezuela,
for
more
us.
than 80 million barrels of oil.
That you stole from a nation illegally and imprisoned their leader, which I don't know what's going on with that. Does anybody know what's going on with
American
Maduro?
natural gas production is at an all-time high because I kept my promise to drill, baby, drill.
And in doing so, he also released tons of regulations that were put in place for,
More Americans are working today than at any time in the history
for the climate
of our country. Think about that. Any time in the history of our country, more working today.
More
and
working
100%
today than
of all
any
jobs
other
created under my
time and
administration
in history.
have been in the private
I'm sorry.
sector.
Hold on. What was it that I just said literally a minute ago? I think it's about 1.1 million jobs were cut this year.
We ended
1.1 million jobs were cut
DEI
this
in
year.
America.
And I'm not just saying that. That comes directly from, stand by, that comes from CBS, which technically the administration, in my opinion,
We've
owns.
got a record
So
number of job-killing regulations, and in 1 year, we have lifted 2.4 million Americans, a record, off of food stamps.
I have to dig into that one. Sorry. I don't believe it.
And for all of these reasons, I say tonight, members of Congress, the state of our union is strong.
If you're a billionaire or millionaire. Anyway, so one thing I want to point out as well is that he is taking credit for his first year in office, saying that jobs were up from when Biden was president. 85% of the 2025 job gains occurred
Our
before
country
the Liberation
is winning again.
Day
In fact, we're
tariffs
winning so much
were announced
that
in
we
April.
really don't know what to do about it. People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along, we're just always losing, but now we're winning too much. And I say, no, no, no. You're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than
This
ever.
is an example of what I was pointing to before. He is
to
talking
prove
about
that
his
point,
friends whom
here
he's
with us
making
tonight
so
is
much
a
money
group
for.
of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
Man, I was really hoping somebody would come out with a No King shirt. You know, they're going to be good little boys.
Go ahead, baby. That's the first time I've ever seen them get up. And actually, not all of them did get up. But they beat a fantastic Canadian team in overtime, as everybody saw, as did the American women who will soon be coming to the White House.
No, I was hoping that they were wearing a No King shirt like underneath their USA sweater, and then they were just gonna like pull the sweater off when they walk through. Yeah, I know they totally would have been stopped outside the
They
door.
were in the Oval Office before.
I was hoping
And
it was gonna
just
be
wanna
like
say a second very
not
big
streaking, but like
congratulations
just, like
to Team
remove the
USA.
sweater real quick, and then
I
screams
have to
like
say
No
that,
King
and
before
I
he's
told
arrested.
them this, so we took a vote of the team. I said, anybody votes no, I'm not doing it. So they stood there, and they weren't about to say no, because I'd never seen a goaltender play as well as goalie Connor Hellebuck. Think of it, 46 shots on goal. And I asked him, the one shot, the one where you put your stick in the back and it hit the neck of your stick and bounced off. You practice that, or was that a little lucky? He refused to answer that question. But I just want to tell you that the members of this great hockey squad will be very happy to hear, based on their vote and my vote, and in this case, my vote was more important, that I will soon be presenting Connor with our highest civilian honor, which we will be given and which has been given to many athletes over the years. But when I say many, not too many, like 12, it's called the highest civilian honor in our country, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Okay, somebody mentioned it was time for a drink. I'm upstairs in the studio. I can't go get one, but oh my God. I mean, good for him, I guess. But like all the amazing things that people are doing right now for the people that this administration is screwing and hurting and killing.
Very great, the best. And I thought he deserved
an Olympic
it.
gold
And I did
medalist,
take a vote. Every single one of them. I said, I'm
is
not
getting
giving
the,
it if anybody goes
Presidential
no. And
Medal of
every single
Freedom.
one of them rapidly put up their hand. So I want to thank you. What a special job you did. What special champions you are. Thank you very much.
Wow. This is how he's going to do his speech for an hour and 45 minutes, by the way. He's going to get as many claps as
I'm
possible.
also pleased to say that the next time the Olympic torch is lit, it will be here in America for the 2028 Olympics, and it's the summer version.
I'm also
right
wondering
in Los
if
Angeles. We're gonna
our
do a good job in Los Angeles.
2028 Olympics is not going to happen. I have a feeling that multiple countries are going to end up boycotting since things are, probably going to be getting so much worse.
And Los Angeles is going to be safe, just like Washington, D.C. is now one of the safest cities in the country.
Okay, I was in Washington the very first day of Trump's military campaign /
And
federalization,
this year,
and I walked around
and I
apparently
must
some
say,
of the
I got
worst
a vote.
neighborhoods at night,
I got
and
him
nothing happened
first
to me.
term.
I met some of the
I was
nicest people,
disappointed because I didn't
but
think
I
I'd
didn't
be
see how it was
the
dangerous
president
at
when
all.
this happened. But strange things took place.
Oh my God!
And now
A fact
I've
check
got
in
'em
the
because I
comments.
got the
Thank
Olympics,
you.
I
I did not
got
even
the
think about looking that up.
2026.
All right, so a fact check in the
FIFA
comments
World
says that
Cup,
33
and I wanted
sports
to
figures
claim the
have been awarded the
250th, but I didn't
Presidential
get away
Medal
with
of
that one. I
Freedom
couldn't
since
claim that one for myself.
1963.
But we're
And Trump
getting the
said, like,
World
12.
Cup. So we have the World Cup and the Olympics coming, and that is exciting news.
What is that, Carol Madden? Thank you, Carol Madden. You're amazing.
So this will be a year to celebrate our country and the heroes who have kept it free. Men like Buddy Taggart. At age 17, Buddy volunteered to defend America in World War II, serving in the Pacific under the great General Douglas MacArthur. He fought bravely in the famous Battle of Manila, worked so hard. He was badly wounded and almost killed by enemy machine guns in Luzon. And 81 years ago this month, he liberated the largest internment camp in the Philippines, one of the largest anywhere in the world. But he earned many honors, including a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star, came home, started a family, and tonight he is in the gallery looking forward to July 4th, 2026, his 100th birthday.
I got a comment that said, what if he started farting and pooping on stage? Oh my God. Sorry. Started reading it without knowing what it actually said. According to the U.S. News, Johns Creek, Georgia is the safest place in the U.S. Johns Creek, Georgia?
So, Buddy, you're a brave man, and we salute you. Even in times of challenge, setback, and
I'm going to look that up real
immense
quick. Hold on.
heartache,
I'm curious.
the spirit of 1776 has always shone through very brightly. It was July 4th of last year when floodwaters tore through a girls' summer camp in Central Texas. One of the worst things I've ever seen. I was there, rising 26 feet in the matter of minutes,
It's one of the
tragically
safest places to
claiming
live
many,
in
many
Georgia.
lives. You
Oh,
all
Georgia
remember that?
and the United States.
As the waters threatened to sweep her away, 11-year-old Millie Kate McClelland closed her eyes and prayed to God. She thought
It's
she
a
was going to
diverse,
die. Those
upscale
prayers were
community
answered when
and
Coast
quiet
Guard rescue
family-oriented
swimmer
community
Scott
with strong
Ruskin
police presence and active
descended
neighborhood
from a
watches. Sounds like
helicopter
Beverly Hills.
above. Nobody knew where he came
Neighborhood
from.
hires.
It was Scott's first ever rescue mission. A young guy, but very brave, very, very top.
Johns Creek.
Always top in his class. And he
Whose
lifted
district is
not
that?
just Millie Kate, but 164 others to safety.
Rich McCormick. Okay. Republican, who serves Georgia's 7th congressional district. He took office in 2023. He's an emergency room physician and a Marine Corps veteran. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. That's awesome.
People watched Scott from a distance, and they couldn't believe what they were seeing. The winds were
interesting.
blowing, the rain was pouring, everything was going, and that rapid water, nobody's ever seen anything like it. They said, wow, that's something. Tonight, Scott and Millie Kate are here together, reunited for the very first time. Thank you, Scott, Millie Kate.
I'll be right back. I got to grab my Red Bull.
And Petty Officer Ruskin, I'm pleased to inform you that I am now awarding you the Legion of Merit for extraordinary heroism, which is what it was, extraordinary heroism. Thank you. And I'd like to have the military aide to please come down and take care of the service. Military aid, thank you very much. Take care of that very important service. Thank you very much. From 1776 to today, every generation of Americans has stepped forward to defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And they're really doing it for the next generation. But now it's our turn. Together, we're building a nation where every child has the chance to reach higher and go further, where government answers to the people, not the powerful, and where the interests of hardworking American citizens are always our first and ultimate concern. That is the debt we owe to the heroes who came before us.
So
And
he's
that
talking
is the
about this, but
promise
it's really
we
important to
must
mention
keep
that
to
nearly
America for our
166,000 blue-collar
250th
jobs
year.
were lost
Last year, I
from
urged this
February
Congress to begin the
2025
mission
to
by
January
passing the
2026, including
largest
losses
tax
in
cuts in American
manufacturing,
history, and our
construction,
Republican
logging,
majorities
mining,
delivered
transportation,
so
warehousing,
beautifully.
and
Thank you,
utilities.
Republicans.
And that is coming directly from Congress.
All Democrats, every
I mean, just the
single one of them
manufacturing
voted
sector
against
lost
these
72,000
really important
jobs
and very
from April to
necessary
December in
massive
2025.
tax cuts.
And then basically every month after tariffs were implemented, manufacturing
wanted
jobs started actually even
large-scale
falling
tax
faster.
increases to hurt the people instead. But we held strong, and with the great, big, beautiful bill, we gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors.
Okay, I'm going to go over just taxes real quick, just what I have for taxes real quick, all right? Americans have paid 96% of the
And we
tariff
also
cost. I
made
told you guys about that.
interest
It
on
averages
auto
about
loans
$1,700 a
tax
person
deductible the
per
first
year,
time,
which is
but
more than double
only if the
average
car is
of taxes, which are
made in
roughly like
America.
$650, I think, a year. Healthcare premiums are projected to rise 26% on average in 2026. More than 22 million Americans are going to be facing higher
Recently
ACA
in
tax credits,
Pennsylvania, I met
or just
Megan
higher costs due to
Hemhauser,
the ACA
a
tax
devoted
credits
mom
expiring.
who's homeschools
And
her
lower income
children,
families,
beautiful
and lower income
two
families
children,
are going to
during
be
the day
losing
while waiting tables at night,
$8.7
as her
billion
husband works
in credit.
overtime operating
Okay.
very
That
heavy equipment. Megan is here
That
this evening, and
increases.
she's happy
That
to
increase.
tell
I'm sorry,
you
it's
that
hard to
she
say this.
is
Is so absurd.
so much richer because with no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and our expanded
Increases that exceed
child
the
tax
average
credit
refund
done
bump.
again by Republicans.
Okay, which
Megan
is just
and her
insane.
husband
I
will
mean,
take
food
home more than
prices have risen
$5,000
sharply
extra
since tariffs were
just for the
implemented,
year,
with
cutting
beef up
her tax
16%,
bill
coffee up
in more
nearly
than half.
20%, fruit up more than 6%, and overall grocery bills rising about 5% year over year. And that is
Megan,
still
please
increasing.
stand up. We're fighting for you,
So I don't understand what he's exactly talking about. I mean, the OBBBB deliveries, it's
Thank you,
$1
Megan.
trillion
We're
in
fighting
tax
for you,
cuts
Megan.
on the
Under our
top
bill, parents like
1%,
Megan can also
while
activate
cutting
their
funding
children's
from
brand
SNAP,
new Trump accounts.
Medicaid,
I
and
didn't
other
name it.
healthcare programs that people
I did not
that
name
low income
that.
Americans are like relying on. But and that just goes to show you how
Nobody believes me, but I did not name it. It was named
nobody
by a
believes
very
you because you're
tall
not telling
man
the truth.
sitting right there in the third row. Nice man, a good man. Tax-free investment accounts for every American child. This is something that's so special and has taken off and gone through the roof. Millions will be pre-funded courtesy of the U.S. Treasury and private individuals like Michael and Susan Dell, who have donated $6.25 billion to fund the Trump accounts for 25 million American children. They're great people. When I asked Michael Dell, how do you make all that money? He said, well, I just sat on my dorm in school and I made computers and I'd sell them to people. And I just kept selling and selling and selling. And pretty amazing story. That's called the American dream. He sold a lot of computers, a lot of those laptops. So I congratulate him on that. But I really thank him and Susan, as well as others like Brad Gerstner, a very tremendous guy. He was behind it right from the beginning. Brad Gerstner. Thank you, Brad.
What does this have to do with the State of the Union?
So with modest additional contributions, these young people's accounts could grow to over $100,000 or more by the time they turn 18. Think of it. How much money is that for somebody that started with nothing? Over 100,000, could be much more than that. To make this investment in our children's future, go to trumpaccounts.gov, trumpaccounts.gov. And a lot of people are doing it. It's setting every record in the book. It's popular. They knew what it was going to take. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of the people that got it started. And now it's just taken off. One of the primary reasons for our country's stunning economic turnaround, the biggest in history, where the Dow Jones broke 50,000 4 years
Oh
ahead
my
of
God,
schedule.
50,000.
And the S&P
The
hit
Dow is
7,000,
over
where it
50,000.
wasn't supposed to do it for many years.
I love how it goes to
tariffs.
Pam Bondi when he talks about
I use
50,000.
these tariffs.
It goes right to
taking
Pam Bondi.
hundreds of billions of dollars to make great deals for
Just in
our
case you guys
country,
didn't see
both
the
economically and
oversight
on a
committee with Pam
national
Bondi,
security basis.
it was
Everything was working well.
instead of
Countries
answering a
that were
question,
ripping
very
us
valid
off for
question,
decades are now
she
paying
said
us
the
hundreds
Dow
of billions
is
of
over
dollars.
50,000.
They were ripping
That was
us
her
so
answer to the
badly. You all
question.
know that. Everybody knows it.
When will
Even the
he
Democrats
mention
know it. They
buying
just don't want to
his
say it.
Bitcoin? Yeah,
And yet
his
these
crypto.
countries
I'm sure that will
are
come
now
up.
happy, and so are we.
I'm pretty sure that
We
will
made
come
deals. The deals are all done, and they're happy. They're not making money like they used to, but we're making a lot of money. There was
Off the
no
American
inflation,
taxpayer with your
tremendous
tariffs.
growth, and the big story was how Donald Trump called the economy correctly, and 22 Nobel Prize winners in economics didn't. They got it totally wrong. They got it really wrong. And then just 4 days ago, an unfortunate ruling from the United States Supreme Court. It just came down. It came down. Very unfortunate ruling. But the good news is that almost all countries and corporations want to keep the deal that they already made, right, Scott?
What deal?
Knowing that
See,
the
this is
legal
the thing.
power
This
that I,
is
as
such
president,
gaslighting. And this is
have
ridiculous.
to make a new deal could be far
People
worse
today
for them,
still believe
and therefore they will
that
continue to work
tariffs are
along the
paid
same
by
successful
the
path
country
that we
of
had
origin,
negotiated
the country
before
that's
the
sending
Supreme
whatever
Court's
supplies are
unfortunate
coming into
involvement.
America, whatever's being imported.
So despite the
And it's
disappointing
not
ruling,
true.
these
Okay,
powerful
my father-in-law is a
country
massive,
saving. It's saving our country,
trade
the
import
kind of
export
money we're
attorney,
taking
and I
in.
can tell you right now,
Peace protecting.
the
Many
price,
of the wars I
the
settled was
increase
because
goes to the
of the
companies
threat
that are
of
purchasing
tariffs.
it
I
here in
wouldn't have been
America.
able to settle
Okay,
with that.
and the only way
Will
for
remain
them
in
to
place under fully
survive
approved
and
and
to stay in
tested
business is to
alternative
raise their
legal
prices
statutes.
on us.
And they have been
We
tested for a
pay
long
the tariffs.
time.
It's a tax.
They're a little more complex, but
So
they're
him saying that
actually
these countries want to
probably
keep this
better,
thing is
leading to a solution that will be even stronger than before. Congressional action will not be necessary. It's already time tested and approved. And as time goes by, I believe the tariffs paid for by foreign countries will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern day system of income tax, taking a great financial burden off the people that I love.
oh yeah, your friends. Your friends. Again, guys, you're the ones paying the tariffs. But I'm assuming if you're watching this here with me, you know that.
Moving forward, factories, jobs, investment, and trillions of dollars will continue pouring into the United States of America because we finally have a president who puts America first. I put America first. I love America. For decades before I came along, we had the exact opposite. From trade to healthcare, from energy to immigration, everything was stolen and rigged in order to drain the wealth out of the productive, hardworking people who make our country great, who make our country run.
I think it's so funny that he
Under
continuously
Biden
keeps
and
saying
his
this.
corrupt
I mean,
partners in Congress and beyond, it reached a
look,
breaking point with
immigration
the Green New
enforcement has
Scam,
been something that
borders
has
for
existed
everyone.
forever, and it is
They
necessary.
poured in by
Okay,
the
but at the end of the
millions and
day,
millions
it
from
needs to be done the
prisons,
right way.
from
It needs to be
mental
done a certain way,
institutions. There were
not the way
murders,
that Trump's handling it. The way he's handling it
11,888
as
murders.
well.
They
He's
came
doing,
into
I
our
mean,
country. You allowed that
not
to
to,
happen.
I mean, if you look at the
And
numbers between
record-setting inflation
Obama
that cost
and
a typical
Biden,
family
who had millions of
$34,000 in just
deportations, but they
a
were
speck of time.
they were
Now
they
the
were
same
deported,
people in this chamber who voted
you know,
for those
not because of their
disasters
skin color, not because of their
suddenly used
language,
the word
not
affordability.
because
a
of
word,
anything except for the
they
fact that
just
they were not
used it.
here
Somebody
legally.
gave it to them,
Okay. And
knowing
I'm not
full well
okay
that
with this
they
administration
caused
going
and
door to
created
door, having
the
people hiding in
increased
basements,
prices that
in attics.
all of our
I
citizens
mean, I know a
had to
church
endure.
in
You
Minneapolis that had
caused
to
that
feed,
problem.
that prepared
You
15,000
caused
meals
that
in just a
problem.
2-week period because people would not be leaving their house. And it's horrible. So him constantly saying that Biden and Obama caused this mass migration of illegal immigrants in the United States is completely
They knew their
false.
statements were a lie. They knew it. They knew their statements were a dirty, rotten lie. Their policies created the high prices. Our policies are rapidly ending them. We are doing really well. Those prices are plummeting downward.
Again, Americans have paid 96% of tariff costs because prices are going up.
The price of eggs
Okay.
is down 60%. Madam Secretary, thank you. The cost of chicken, butter, fruit, hotels, automobiles, rent is lower today than when I took office by a lot. And even beef, which was very high, is starting to come down.
Look, tariffs
significantly.
have
Just hold
increased
on a
the
little while. We're
cost
getting it
of
down.
building. Okay,
And soon
I
you
mean, a
will
new
see
home by
numbers
more
that
than
few
$17,500
would think
per
were
home.
possible
All right,
to achieve
residents
just a short
in
time
49 states
ago.
and Washington D.C. for
Nobody
that
can
matter
believe when they
are
see the
expected
kind
to
of
face
numbers,
higher
especially
utility
energy,
bills
when they
or
see energy
proposed
going down to
rate
numbers like
increases
that,
in
they cannot
2027.
believe it.
With
It's like
increases
another
projected to
big
cost
tax cut.
consumers
I'm
$85.8
also
billion
confronting one of
by
the biggest
2028.
ripoffs of our times, the crushing
I mean, the average
cost
natural
of
gas
healthcare
wholesale price right now
caused by
increased
you.
56% in 2025 compared to
Unaffordable Care
2024.
Act, sometimes
So in the first
referred to
half
as
of his second
Obamacare,
term,
big insurance companies got rich.
117,000
It was
additional
meant for the insurance
households
companies, not
fell
for the
into
people.
severe
With our
utility
government
debt,
giving them
bringing the total
hundreds
to
and
about, I think,
hundreds of
14
billions
million
of dollars a
Americans.
year, as
And
their
he's talking
stock
about
prices
how
soared
he's fixing
1,000,
everything when
1,200,
the
1,400,
numbers right
and even
here, some of these numbers are
1,700%.
from, I mean, I'm more than happy to
Like
share
nothing
all of these
else.
links with you guys
That's
later too,
why
but
I
like,
introduced
I'm
the
looking at
great
these actual
healthcare
numbers.
plan. I want to stop all payments to big insurance companies and instead give that money directly to the people. So
But
they can
instead,
buy their own
okay, so
healthcare,
right there,
which
he's
will
talking
be
about how he got
better
rid of the
healthcare
ACA
at a
subsidies,
much
right? The
lower
Affordable Care Act
cost.
subsidies. Instead of doing what he just said he wanted to do, which would not help anyway, he is now, what he is trying to do, and the Democrats have stopped him, he's trying to take those ACA subsidies, and he's actually trying to put
In
that
addition, my
money
plan requires
that was for Americans to have affordable,
maximum
health care,
transparency. That's
and he's
a big
trying
deal.
to give it.
Sounds
He is
so
trying to
simple,
give that
so
money
big.
to DHS and ICE.
And I did that in my first term, and the Democrats immediately terminated it with
No,
full
I don't see
knowledge
beef
that
coming
they
down either.
were
Beef is
doing
super
a very
expensive
bad
right
thing
now.
for the people. Costs are going to go way up, and that's what happened. And now I'm bringing them way down on healthcare and everything else.
He's
I'm
bringing
also
up
ending
healthcare
the
costs.
wildly
bringing
inflated
down
cost
healthcare?
of prescription drugs like has never happened before.
Okay, so let's take a look at this whole prescription drugs thing, okay? His whole, what is it, Trump RX, okay? Most Trump RX coupons, by the way, are also available on GoodRx
Other
and
presidents
platforms
tried to
like,
do it,
you know,
but they never could.
GoodRx,
They tried.
okay? And Cost Plus
Most didn't
Drugs
try,
offers
actually.
discounts on
But they
many
tried. They
more
said they
drugs
tried.
than
They
even
couldn't
Trump
do it. They
RX
didn't even
currently
come
does.
close.
He is just
They were all
repackaging what
talk
other,
and no
you know,
action. But I
companies
got it
have
done.
already
Under my
created.
just
And he's
enacted
calling it
most
new.
favored nation agreements, Americans who have for decades paid by far the highest prices of any nation anywhere in the world for prescription drugs will now pay the lowest price.
So here's the thing,
anywhere in
Trump
the world
RX
for drugs,
is also acting as
anywhere,
a
the
platform
lowest price.
to promote only certain drugs, okay? Rather than, you know, serve as an industry distributor, okay? So basically, if they
So
don't
in
like
my
the drug, if they don't
first
like
year
the
of the
owner, the
second
CEO,
term-
the investors in the drug company, they don't have to
Excuse me, my
offer it on
girlfriend.
Trump RX.
But
So their
Strange things
friends
happen.
who will, you know,
I took prescription
will be
drugs,
the ones that they're going to be
a very
selling
big
drugs
part
for.
of healthcare, from the highest price in the entire world to the lowest. That's a big achievement. The result is price differences of 300, 400, 500, 600% and more, all available right now at a new website called TrumpRx.gov. And I didn't name that one either, by the way.
Like I just said, guys, that is so false. Okay, I mean,
And here tonight is the very first customer ever to get
for 16
that
out of
big
the
discount,
17
and
drug
it is
companies
big.
on that
Catherine
platform, the Trump
Rayner.
RX,
For 5
they may
years,
be
she
more
and her
of
husband have
a
struggled
marketing
with
tool
infertility.
than, a
They
real
turned
price
to
cut.
IVF. One drug has been costing Catherine $4,000 to purchase. But a few weeks ago, she logged onto the Trump RX website and got that same drug that cost $4,000, got it for under $500, a reduction of much more, actually, than $3,500. Catherine, we are all praying for you, and you're going to be a great mom. So now I'm calling on Congress to codify my most favored nation program into law. Now, the one thing I'm not sure it matters, because it's going to be very hard for somebody that comes along after me to say, let's raise drug prices by 700 or 800%. But John and Mike, if you don't mind, codify it anyway. They may do it. Codify it anyway. Thank you. Many Americans are also concerned that energy demand from AI data centers could unfairly drive up their electric utility bills. Tonight, I'm pleased to announce that I have negotiated the new Ratepayer Protection Pledge. You know what that is? We're telling the major tech companies that they have the obligation to provide for their own power needs. They can build their own power plants as part of their factory, so that no one's prices will go up. And in many cases, prices of electricity will go down for the community, and very substantially down. This is a unique strategy never used in this country before. We have an old grid. It could never handle the kind of numbers, the amount of electricity that's needed. So I'm telling them they can build their own plant. They're going to produce their own electricity. It will ensure the company's ability to get electricity while at the same time lowering prices of electricity for you, and could be very substantial for all
Trax
of you cities
Media,
and
you're
towns.
totally right. That's 100%. You're 100% right. You're 100% right about that.
Next number of years. Another pillar of the American dream that has been under attack is home ownership. With us tonight is Rachel Wiggins, a mom of 2 from Houston. She placed bids on 20 homes and lost all of those bids to gigantic investment firms that bypassed inspection, paid all cash, and turned those houses into rentals, stealing away her American dream. She was devastated. Stories like this are why last month I signed executive order to ban large Wall Street investment firms from buying up in the thousands single-family homes. And now I'm asking Congress to make that ban permanent, because homes for people, really, that's what we want. We want homes for people, not for corporations. Corporations are doing just fine. Racel, thank you very much. Good luck with your home. You'll get one soon. We're also working to make it
I'm looking
easier
into
for
that a little
Americans
further.
to
Actually,
save
give me a
for
second.
retirement. And under this administration, we will always protect Social Security and Medicare. They are not protecting it for our seniors. We will always protect Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Since I took office, the typical 401k balance is up by at least $30,000. That's a lot of money. We have millions and millions of people, because the stock market has done so well, setting all those records. Your 401ks are way up. Yet half of all of working Americans still do not have access to a retirement plan with matching contributions from an employer. To remedy this gross disparity, I'm announcing that next year my administration will give these often forgotten American workers, great people, the people that built our country, access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I just looked
As
at
we
his
ensure
executive
that all
order.
Americans can profit from a rising stock market, let's also
Go
ensure
ahead,
that
stock market. That's
members
fine.
of
So
Congress
the executive
cannot
order
corruptly
does a
profit
few things,
from
but
using
it does not do
insider
what he
information.
claims that it does, even in the executive order, which is actually quite fascinating. So on its face, the order does four main things. It directs Treasury to define, large institutional investors and what a single-family home is. So basically, what the difference is between a massive investor and a single-family, home.
They
It
stood up
limits
for that.
federal
I can't
involvement
believe
in transactions where large institutional investors buy a single-family
I can't
home
believe it.
that could otherwise go to an
Did
owner-occupant.
Nancy Pelosi stand
Let me
up
tell
and
you guys
say
something.
so?
I sold real estate for 10 years in LA before
Pass the
um,
Stop
I got into
Insider
politics. And
Trading
I
Act
can tell you right
without
now, I
delay.
represented many of those types of investors over my 10 years in the business. And I can tell you that 90% of those investors that I represented used
I wasn't
private
sure
money.
if
They did
anybody even
not
on this side was
go
gonna
to
applaud, but
banks
that
like he is
I'm
saying
very
that they're
impressed.
doing
Thank you.
here.
I'm very
They
impressed.
went to private
But when it comes
portfolios
to the corruption that
and
is
they put
plundering,
up,
really, it's plundering America.
their
There's been
portfolio
no
as
more
leverage to
stunning
get
example
money
than
to then just go buy
Minnesota,
homes for cash and put
where
everybody out
members
of,
of the
the chance of owning a
Somali
home. And that's
community
why,
have
it's
pillaged
so hard to
an
get a home these
estimated
days, is because these
$19
people
billion
have
from
connections
the
and money,
American
and it is not
taxpayer.
coming
We
from
have all the
banks.
information.
Trump is claiming that this
And in
money comes from banks. They
actuality,
do
the
not
number
get
is
their money
much
from
higher
banks.
than that. And
Okay.
California,
So what does this thing
Massachusetts,
actually not
Maine,
do?
and many other
It
states
does not
are
ban
even
Wall
worse.
Street firms from buying
This is
homes.
the kind
It
of
does not
corruption
impose
that
new taxes or
shreds the
penalties. It does
fabric
not
of a
restrict
nation, and
private
we are
market
working on
transactions.
it like
It does
you wouldn't
not change
believe.
mortgage rates. It does
So
not
tonight,
increase housing
although
supply. It does not provide
started
down
4 months
payment
ago, I
assistance. It
am
does not
officially announcing
address
the
zoning
war
or
on
local
fraud
land
to
use
be
rules. It does not
led
control
by our
rents.
great
It does
Vice
not create
President J.D.
enforcement
Vance.
mechanisms beyond the existing laws already in place. So it's just smoke and mirrors. It's fake.
We'll get it done. And if we're able to find enough of that fraud, we will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly. That's the kind of money you're talking about. We'll balance our budget. The Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota remind us that there are large
It's actually really
parts
funny
of the world
considering
where
that the two people
bribery,
that were
corruption, and
convicted and
lawlessness
are doing prison
are the
time for
norm,
fraud
not the
in
exception.
Minneapolis or Minnesota, I should
Importing
say,
these cultures
are
through
white
unrestricted immigration
Americans
and open borders
who are in
brings
prison.
us problems right here to the USA. And it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games. Delilah. Delilah Colton was only 5 years old in June 2024 when a 18-wheel tractor trailer plowed into her stopped car traveling at 60 miles an hour or more. The driver was an illegal alien let in by Joe Biden and given a commercial driver's license by open borders politicians in California. Doctors said Delilah would never be able to walk or talk.
I will look into
Have a
this
good life.
further for you guys, and I'll do
She
a video on
wouldn't be able to
YouTube
eat
and
again.
Substack about it because
Against
I'm
all
not
odds, she is
100%
now
sure
in the first grade
on the
learning
facts of
to
this.
walk. And she's here this evening with her dad, Marcus, a fantastic man. Delilah, please, you are a great inspiration. Please stand up.
Ashton Kushner.
Thank you, Delilah. Many, if not most, illegal aliens do not speak English and cannot read even the most basic road signs as to direction, speed, danger, or location. That's why tonight I'm calling on Congress to pass what we will call the Delilah Law, barring any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens. And yesterday, as you probably saw at the White House, I hosted a ceremony with Americans who lost their treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration. People came into our country, how we allowed this to happen with our open borders. These are the angel moms and families that for decades our government betrayed and our media totally ignored. It was terrible. Hard to believe, actually. In 2023, a 16-year-old high school cheerleader named Elizabeth Medina was supposed to perform in her town's Christmas parade, but she never arrived. Her mother, Jacqueline, went home to look for her, and she found her lying dead in a bathtub, bleeding profusely after being stabbed 25 times.
I want to touch back
Elizabeth's
on the
killer
fact that he's going to
was
make
a
a
previously
law
arrested illegal
that,
alien who had broken in
does
and
not allow
brutally-
illegal
really
immigrants
just
to get
brutally
driver's
extinguished
license in any states. He
the
cannot.
brightest light in a
Okay,
family's
it's actually
life.
part of the 10th Amendment. I just looked
Violently
into it a little bit
viciously.
further. Okay, that
Our
authority
heartbroken
comes
mother
from
is in
their
the
police
gallery to
powers
remind
under the
everyone in
amendment.
this chamber
There is no
exactly
constitutional
why we are
clause giving
deporting
Congress
illegal
direct
alien
authority
criminals to our
over driver's
country at
licensing
record numbers.
at
and we're
all.
getting them the
So the
hell
federal
out of here
government cannot
fast. We
regulate
don't want 'em.
directly through the spending power. Congress can attach conditions to federal funding. You know, for example, the Real ID does not force states to change their licensing laws, but it does say that if a state does not meet federal ID standards, its licenses cannot be used for boarding commercial flights
Thank you
or
very
entering
much,
federal buildings.
Jacqueline. Thank you. We can never forget that many in this room not only allowed the border invasion to happen before I got involved, but indeed they would do it all over again if they ever had the chance. If they ever got elected, they would open up those borders to some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world.
Again,
The only thing standing between Americans
has
and a wide
detained
open
and
border
not,
right now
by the
is
way,
President
deported. They're
Donald
also
J.
in
Trump
cells
and our
in
great
America.
Republican patriots in
Over
Congress.
75,000
Thank you.
people, and 14% of all of the people that he and his administration and ICE have detained and imprisoned,
As we speak,
14% had violent criminal
Democrats in this chamber
records.
have cut off all
14%.
funding for the Department of Homeland Security. It's all cut off. It's all cut off. They have instituted another Democrat shutdown, the first one costing us 2 points on GDP. 2 points we lost on GDP, which probably made them quite happy, actually. Now they have closed the agency responsible for protecting Americans from terrorists and murderers.
No, it's the agency responsible
Tonight,
for
I'm
killing
demanding the
Americans
full
and
and
migrants.
immediate restoration of all funding for the
At
border
a record
security,
number in
homeland
just the last
security
year.
of the United States, and also for helping people clean up their snow. We have no money because of the Democrats, and it would be nice.
Your
I'd love to give you a
DHS
hand at cleaning it up,
has
but you
one
get
of
no
the
money.
highest
Nobody's
federal
getting paid. It's a
budgets
shame. So you have
that
to
we
think
have
about
seen
it. We
in
have,
this
in case you
nation's
didn't know,
history.
pretty large snowstorm out there.
So they
One of the
canceled
great
the
things
ACA
about the
subsidies,
State
and now
of
they're
the
trying to give
Union
that money
is how
to
it gives Americans
DHS
a
as
chance
well.
to see clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight, I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
This is the problem. The right does not understand American values. Okay, American values are about taking people in, are about giving them better opportunities, about allowing them to figure out what their American dream is, and to give people a chance of having a better life. You're looking at it perfect. I want to throw a shoe. I know, me too. You're looking at an absolute perfect example of empathy and true American patriotism right there on the left, and selfish, capitalistic, oligarchy / authoritarian bootlicking on the right. The term non-citizen includes people who may have legal immigration status in the U.S. but are not U.S. citizens. That is 100% true. I have visited detention centers, people. I have firsthand seen that there are people that were on their way to go to their appointment because they were doing things the right way. They were here legally, and they were swept up by ICE, including a couple that has been in the Otay Mesa, detention center, which is rated for 1,500 people, and there's 3,000 people in there. And they have not been allowed still for 150 days to see their attorney or to even
ashamed of yourself,
look outside.
Not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Get him, Rep. Omar. I took an oath to protect this country, to protect the Constitution. And it is so.
And perhaps most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save
to see an
America
entire
Act.
right, the entire right cheering this kind of behavior and this rhetoric and thought process.
To stop illegal aliens and others who are unpermitted persons from voting in our sacred American elections. The cheating is rampant in our elections. It's rampant. It's very simple. All voters must show voter ID.
Well, that's not something that's going to happen.
All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote. And no more crooked mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military.
What happened
or
in
travel.
Georgia? Trump lying. He's not talking about anything that happened in
And
Georgia
this should
because he hasn't been able to
an easy one.
manufacture
By
it
the
yet.
way, it's polling at 89%, including Democrats. 89%.
89. Did you say he's polling at 89%? Where those polling numbers go? I just found.
And even the new communist.
I think it's
mayor,
32%. Actually, hold on. I think it's 32 or 33%.
Bad policy, but nice guy. Just said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard. Want them to shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID.
Yeah,
and a
his
Social Security
polling
card.
is. I'll be nice.
Yet they don't want
36%.
identification for the greatest privilege
That's his
of
polling
them
right
all,
now.
voting in
His approval
America.
polling is at 36%.
No good. Both Republicans and Democrats overwhelmingly.
Yeah, you already have to
agree on
show
the
a driver's
policy that
license.
we just enunciated. And Congress should unite and enact this common sense, country-saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens.
Otherwise, I'm going to lose the election. Midterms will be a disaster for me. Honestly, the entire right
The
knows
reason they
they're
don't
on
wanna
borrowed
do it,
time.
Why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason.
Or it's
They
because you
make
don't want
up
women
all
to vote
excuses.
because they
say
took their
it's
husband's last name.
racist. They come up with things, you almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat, they have cheated, and their policy is so bad that the only way they can get elected is to cheat. And we're going to stop it. We have to stop
You know, if I
it,
ever
John.
joined Congress and I was in a situation like this, I'll be completely honest with you, I would definitely attend this, but I would 100% have figured out a way to sneak a bullhorn into that room.
And here
I would
is
not
one more
allow him to be louder than
opportunity
me.
to show
Like
common
Ilhan
sense
Omar.
in
I mean,
government.
she needs a
In the
bullhorn.
gallery tonight are Sage Blair and her mother, Michelle. In 2021, Sage was 14 when school officials in Virginia
The
sought
only reason
to
why I'm watching this is
socially
because you chose to
transition
live.
her to a new gender, treating her as a boy and hiding it from her parents. Hard to believe, isn't it? Before long, a confused Sage ran away
Can't
from
see your
home
name from here, but
after she was found in a horrific
the
situation
person that said the
in
only reason I'm
Maryland.
watching this because
A
is because you chose to
left-wing
go live
judge
and do this,
refused to
Jared.
return
Thank you
Sage
so
to her
much.
parents
I appreciate
because
you
they
being
did
here
not
and watching
immediately
this.
state
I
that their
I do
daughter
encourage you
was their
to
son.
watch something different for 15
Sage
minutes
was thrown
afterwards, just so
into an
that you can
all-boys
go to
state
sleep
home
peacefully.
and suffered terribly for a long
And
time.
thank you for being here. I really
But
appreciate it.
today, all of that is behind them because Sage is a proud and wonderful young woman with a full ride scholarship to Liberty University. Sage and Michelle, please stand up.
Look how they're staring at her. You see how she's like clapping like this too? Like, look at her. Oh, she does not like him.
And thank you for your great bravery. And who can believe that we're even speaking about things like this? 15 years ago, if somebody was up here and said that, they'd say, what's wrong with him?
No, they're
Now
saying
we have
that.
to say it because it's going on all over numerous states without even telling the parents. But surely we can all agree no state can be allowed to rip children from their parents' arms and transition them to a new gender against the parents' will. Who would believe that we're even talking about this? We must ban it, and we must ban it immediately.
I think he's talking about transgender. I'm sorry, he's talking about.
Look, nobody stands up. These people are crazy. I'm telling you,
Sorry, I shouldn't
they're
say that.
crazy.
It's funny because Republicans used to like stand for small government, you know, not big, massive government and controlling
lucky we
anything and
have a country
everything.
with
And
people
all
like
I am
this.
seeing since
Democrats
his
are
return
destroying
back to
our
office
country,
is
but we've
literally him
stopped
trying to
it
take
just
control of
in the
literally
nick of
everything,
time, didn't
which
we?
is not a Republican agenda. It is more of an authoritarianism agenda.
No one cares more about protecting America's youth than our wonderful First Lady, now a movie star. She's a movie star. Can you believe it?
Actually, yeah.
Who would have believed that?
Couldn't believe that.
Over the past year,
I actually haven't looked into that
she has
recently.
had an
Ooh,
incredible impact
Melania.
championing AI legislation, advancing a landmark executive order on foster care, and helping secure $30 million
That's what her
to
ratings are
launch the
saying now.
Melania Trump Foster Youth.
Wow.
to
Okay,
Independence
so Rotten
Initiative.
Tomatoes
It's
gives
a
it an
tremendous-
11%, one
Really
star.
a tremendous thing that happened and had a lot of bipartisan
She's not a movie
support.
star, but she does
She
have
gets
one
much
star
better
from Rotten
bipartisan
Tomatoes.
support than I do. I get none. She gets a lot. Someday you're going to have to tell me how you did that. And students and educators in every state have joined the First Lady's efforts in the presidential AI challenge, keeping America's next generation positioned to succeed and strongly succeed in the future. Tonight, we welcome two young people whose lives reflect the First Lady's impact, Sierra Burns and Everest Nevermont. Thank you both. And Melania, thank you. I know how hard you worked on it. Thank you very much.
LOL, a movie flop. I don't know who you are, LOL, a movie flop, but I need you to. You're funny. Oh, my phone's dead.
I'm very proud to say that during my
Go on
time
my
in
last
office,
post
both
on
the first 4
Instagram.
years and
The
in
last post that I
particular
did,
this
not the
last
pinned
year,
ones.
there has
And
been
put
a
LOL,
tremendous
a movie
renewal
flop,
in
so I
religion,
can find you.
faith, Christianity, and belief in God. Tremendous renewal.
I also don't understand how he can be talking about God and
This is especially true
religion
among young
and
people, and a big part of that
you know all
had
of
to
these
do with
things when he
my
cut
great friend,
USAID
Charlie
funding,
Kirk, the
which
great
is
guy,
going
great
to
guy.
kill. I think it was a projected 3 million children. Oh, Erica Kirk, and it couldn't get worse.
So last year, Charlie was violently murdered
USAID
by an
cuts.
assassin and martyred, really martyred for his beliefs. His wonderful wife, Erica, is with us tonight. Erica, please stand.
Okay, guys, I need to. Oh, dude, I know who you are. Hey, buddy, thanks
Thank
for being
you,
here, man. That's awesome.
Been through a lot.
You do great work.
In Charlie's memory, we must all come together to reaffirm that America is one
So
nation
again, I
under
was talking about
God,
how he
and
keeps
we must
mentioning
totally reject
religion
political
and
violence
God
of any
and
kind.
doing things for everybody. But I also want to bring up like saying America first doesn't mean. Well, we all know that that's just BS
We
in
love
general. But saying
religion,
America first does
and
not
we
mean that you
love
cut
bringing it
USAID
back,
funding
and it's coming back
by
at levels that
85%.
nobody
So
actually
the
thought
projections
possible.
from
Really a
multiple
beautiful thing
sources
to
right now,
see.
including Harvard,
Above all, unleashing
that
America's
by
promise requires
2030,
keeping our
a
communities safe.
conservative estimate
We have made incredible
is
strides, yet dangerous repeat offenders continue to
14
be released
million
by
additional all-age
pro-crime
deaths
Democrat
will happen
politicians
because of
again
those
and
cuts,
again.
including over
We are honored
4.5
to
million
be
children under
joined
5
tonight by a
by
woman who's been
2030.
through hell, Anya Zaretska. In 2022, she
call
and her
it
beautiful daughter, so beautiful, what a beautiful young woman, Irina, fled war-torn Ukraine to live with relatives near Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, what's going on with Charlotte? Last summer, 23-year-old Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. No one will ever forget. There were people on that train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly. She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal, set free to kill in America, came in through open borders. Mrs. Zaretska, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina.
It's a really sad story what happened to her, but
How do you not stand? How do you not stand? I'm asking this Congress to pass tough legislation to ensure that violent and dangerous repeat offenders are put behind bars, and importantly, that they stay there.
this coming from the guy that pardoned, I don't know, what, almost 2,000 people so far that were I agree with you about Erica Kirk for sure.
Started last summer, I
How many
deployed
people
our
has? I
National
think
Guard
it's
and federal law enforcement
1,800 people so
to
far.
restore law and order to our most dangerous cities, including Memphis, Tennessee, big success, New
There we
Orleans,
go.
Louisiana, big success, and our nation's capital itself, Washington, D.C., where we have almost no crime anymore in Washington, D.C. How did that happen? In fact, crime in Washington is now at the lowest level ever recorded, and murders in D.C. this January were down close to
1,500 individuals. Okay, so hold on.
100%
Actually, that's not
from a
good
year
story.
ago.
Let me find a different story. Hold on. Let me find a I can't go to the Department of Justice and say if we're liable for it anymore. Let me see here.
They don't like to hear that. One of the sick people, one of the brave service members who helped achieve this stunning turnaround was 20-year-old West Virginia
I mean, it was
Army
1,500
National Guard
individuals
Specialist Sarah Beckstrom.
just associated with the January
After a
6th
4-month
Capitol
deployment,
riots,
she voluntarily
which were very
extended her
violent.
service.
Those people
Her
were
rank
pardoned. He's
was
talking
going
about
to
putting
be
these violent people
lifted.
in
She was
jail
doing so
and
well.
not
I was so
letting
proud
them
of her.
get out. But then
But
yet
the
this
very
man
next day,
has
she was
pardoned
on
over
patrol
1,700 people,
near
and
the White
many of
House
them
when
for
she was
violent reasons.
ambushed and shot in the head by a terrorist monster from Afghanistan. Shouldn't have been in our country.
No, you're totally right. A
All
lot of
because she
those
wore
January
the
6ers
uniform
have
of our
already been
nation. She was
rearrested
shot.
for violent crimes,
He traveled here
drug-related crimes. I think
because he
even
didn't like people wearing our uniform. He was sick and
pedo-like
deranged.
crimes as
Shouldn't
well.
have been in our country. Sarah Beckstrom died in order to defend our capital, and we are honored to be joined by her wonderful parents, Gary and Eva Lee. Your daughter was a true American patriot, and she will be greatly missed. She was a great person. I saw reports on her. They've never seen anything like her.
That was a really sad story. And that was after he said DC was super safe. And that's just such a sad story that happened to her. She shouldn't have been there in the first place. But that's such a sad story.
So sorry. Thank you very much. A great young lady. I saw reports that were like, perfect. She was perfect. Serving alongside Sarah that day was Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf. The terrorist shot Andrew in the head, and no one thought he could possibly make it. The two of them, Sarah and Andrew, both shot violently in the head. Neither was expected to make it. They weren't even given a chance, except his wonderful mother, named Melody, who I spoke to the same night. And she was so positive. The doctors thought that Andrew was gone. But his mother said, no, Mr. President, Andrew will be fine. He's going to make it. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, he was given almost no chance. She said, I have no doubt, sir, he's going to be okay. This was a conversation that I had with her that night, with her son laying helplessly in bed, blood all over. Everybody is praying, she said, sir, he will be okay. The doctors didn't understand what she was saying. And after looking at the results of the damage done, neither did I. She was so strong and conclusive that even Andrew's great father felt she didn't really understand the gravity of the situation. But she turned out to be right. Right, Melody? She turned out to be right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, look at that. He's there. That's amazing. I'm so happy that he's standing and talking and walking, and that's amazing. Good for him. Good for him. And that's a good mom right there. That's a good mom right there. Yeah, seriously, miracles.
Amazing, actually. I said, where does this woman come from? She's the most positive person I've ever met. With God's help, Andrew has battled back from the edge of death. And we're talking about the edge of death. On his way to a miraculous recovery. He's got a little work to do, but he's doing great. Nice to see you. He's a good-looking guy. Nice to see you. Thanks, Andrew. Thank you very much. So, Andrew, while you're up, now I'm going to ask a highly respected General James Seward to present Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf and the great family of Sarah Beckstrom with the award created by our late great President George Washington himself. It's called
Seriously?
the Purple Heart.
Oh, the Purple Heart. Yeah, he deserves that. 100%. It should not have taken that long to get that, but I'm assuming Trump wanted to use this moment to make himself look better. But he definitely deserves that Purple Heart. I don't think there's a single general down there that would disagree with that. I mean, if you're handing those things out too, then I believe Beckstrom should maybe get the Bronze Star. Well, I guess not actually, because that's you get that for obviously other reasons, but still.
We love you all. Love you. We're proudly restoring safety for Americans at home, and we are also restoring security for Americans abroad. Our country has never been stronger. In my first 10 months, I ended 8 wars, including Cambodia. Isn't it funny? And sick people.
Look at Marco Rubio's face. He is like,
Thailand,
he is so done.
Pakistan and India would have been a nuclear war.
He just cannot take it anymore. Look at him.
Said
he's at the end of his
the
rope.
Prime Minister of Pakistan would have died if it were not for my involvement. Kosovo and Serbia, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, Armenia and Azerbaijan, the Congo and Rwanda, and of course the war in Gaza, which proceeds
he's still claiming
at a
the 8
very
wars.
low
He's
level.
still
It's
claiming
just
the 8
about
wars.
there. And I want to thank Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner for your help. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Jared.
I have the facts on this 8 wars thing, and I'm having a really hard time finding it at the moment. I apologize. Give me a second.
And I
will
also want
find
to
it.
thank the man they report to, Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Thank you, Marco.
Will you smile now? Oh my God, guys, look at him. Oh, it took him a minute to look at what? Wow. Okay, he's done.
People like you. You know, Marco got.
I agree with you on the
100% of
Kushner
votes when he was in confirmation.
comment.
I think our next one was about 54%. And some of the Democrats are now saying, I can't believe we approved that guy. And he said it's an honor that they feel that way, right, Marco? You have done a great job, great Secretary of State. I think he'll go down as the best ever. Under the ceasefire I negotiated, every single hostage, both living and dead, has been returned home. Can you believe that? Nobody thought it was possible. Nobody thought that was possible. Both living and dead. And those parents who had a dead son, their boy, they'd always tell me their boy, they wanted him as much as though he were living. That was an amazing period of time. And they came back, and when we got all of the living hostages back, and many, many before them, but I always said those last 20 are going to be very tough, but we got many, many more, hundreds. But I said those last 20 are going to be tough. We got them back, but we only got back 14 or 15 of the dead of the 28. And believe it or not, Hamas worked along with Israel, and they dug and they dug and they dug. It's a tough thing to do, going through bodies all over, passing up 100 bodies sometimes for each one that they found. Tough job. And they finally got it back to 27. And then Steve and Jared, they got it back to 28. They found all 28. Nobody thought that was possible, but we did it. And I remember the family of the 28th. They were so grieved, but they were so happy as it's possible to be. They had their boy back. The mother said, "Sir, we have our boy back." What a period of time that was, but we got them all back. So thank you both very much. Great job.
So about the 8 wars that he says that he's ended. So
And we're working very hard.
I'm going to give him some credit where credit is
due.
due, because anybody deserves credit where credit is due. That being said, he is extremely,
each and every month.
giving himself too much of a pat on the back, because he actually did not end any wars.
Okay, what he
did do was help broker some temporary ceasefires
wherever I can, but I will never
not
hesitate to confront
wars.
threats to
Okay,
America.
so
Wherever
he's just
we
framing
must.
it as that because it makes
That's
him look
why
better.
in
Okay,
a
but
breakthrough operation last
basically
year,
Trump has taken
the
part
United
in
States
brokering or
military
influencing several
obliterated
ceasefires
Iran's
and
nuclear weapons
de-escalations
program
in
with an attack
2025,
on Iranian
but
soil known
none
as Operation
constitute formal
Midnight Hammer.
treaties based on war endings. Okay, and several conflicts are actually still happening. He is just claiming that they've been resolved when they haven't.
For decades,
So-
it had been the policy of the United States never to allow
Yeah,
Iran to
this is
obtain
again
a nuclear
framing
weapon.
and not truth.
Many decades. Since they seized control of that proud nation 47 years ago, the regime and its murderous proxies have spread nothing but terrorism and death and hate. They've killed and maimed thousands of American service members and hundreds of thousands and even millions of people with what's called roadside bombs. They were the kings of the roadside bomb.
IEDs, but okay.
And we took out Soleimani. I did that during my first term. Had a huge impact. He was the father of the roadside bomb.
Give Obama some credit for getting, I don't know, Osama bin Laden.
And just over the last couple of
Yeah,
months,
his following will
with the
believe anything that he
protests,
says.
they've killed at least, it looks like 32,000 protests. 32,000 protesters in their own country. They shot them and hung them. We stopped them from hanging a lot of them with the threat of serious violence. But this is some terrible people. They've already developed missiles that can threaten Europe and our bases overseas, and they're working to build missiles that will soon reach the United States of America. After Midnight Hammer, they were warned to make no future attempts to rebuild their weapons program, and in particular, nuclear weapons. Yet they continue, starting it all over. We wiped it out, and they want to start all over again, and are at this moment again pursuing their sinister ambitions. We are in negotiations with them. They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon. My preference.
I don't think there's credit for that assault or that bombing, whatever you want to call it. But the funny part is he talked about it so much that they knew it was inevitable and it was going to happen. So they just moved everything out of the facility that he bombed anyway. And there's actually satellite imagery of them moving everything.
diplomacy.
So he did.
But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's
brought
number
refinement
one
machines
sponsor
and things of
terror,
that
which
nature.
they are
But
by far,
as far as the
to have a
actual
nuclear
substances
weapon.
and
Can't
things
let
that they
that happen.
can build with, that all got removed and put somewhere else before the bomb happened.
And no nation should ever doubt America's resolve We have the most powerful military on earth. I rebuilt the military in my first term. We're going to continue to do so.
I feel like Mike
Also,
Johnson is
we've
having
approved a
the
$1 trillion
hardest
budget. We have no
time
choice. We have to be strong.
trying to act as if he
Because
believes
hopefully
everything
we
that Trump
will
is saying.
seldom have to use this
Like,
great
look at his
power
face, look at his
we
nods,
built
look at his
together.
expressions. He's slouching now.
It's really called peace through strength, and it's been very, very effective.
Oh, man, go to my down too.
So thanks to Republican in Congress, we're investing that record number of dollars, have no choice, in the United States Armed Forces. Also creating a lot of jobs, but we're not even doing it for that reason. Because as I said, we have more jobs, more people working today than ever before in the history of our country. And NATO countries are friends and allies. They are. They're our friends and they're our allies.
People
Have just agreed.
it. I'm going to say it one more time. I have to. I'm sorry. One more time. I'm going to go over these numbers again.
To pay
Okay?
5%
All
of
right.
GDP for
Hiring
military
slowed in
defense
December
rather than the
to
2%, which they
end the
weren't
weakest
paying.
year
We were
of job
paying
growth
almost
since
all of
the
that.
pandemic. Employers have
paying
cut
5 as opposed
1.1
to
million
not
jobs
paying.
this year. Okay, and we're cracks in the U.S. economy. Job growth has slowed
And getting that 5% for something which
75% from a
everyone
year
said
ago.
would never be done could
Trump
not
said
happen.
tariffs
We gotta
would bring
raise the
factories
one
roaring back, manufacturing
And,
jobs,
big
but
difference
they're on the
between
decline.
2% that's not paid. We were paying
So basically, the U.S. wraps
afraid of
up the
many
worst
of them, very few
non-recession
were
year
paid
for
up.
hiring since
Now 5% that
2003.
they're paid.
Employers,
And
again, have
everything we
cut
send over
1
to
million jobs this
Ukraine
year.
is sent through NATO and they pay us in full.
So, I
They
mean,
pay us
I love how he just
totally
keeps
in
pushing
full.
out there that this
Every
is like the
branch
best
of our
economy.
armed
When
forces is
you look at
setting
anything,
records
and it's
for
just gonna, it
recruitment.
tells you the
This is
complete
so
opposite.
exciting. And every service member recently.
Oh God, you and Grinder.
And every service member recently received a warrior dividend of $1,776. You know, they put it on my desk. We got the money from tariffs and other things, a lot of money we have. We have much more money than people understand. Have to rebuild that program a little bit, but it won't take long. But we got the money and it was $1,775 and they wanted my approval.
It was $1,776, Donald, and that money
$75. I said, wait a minute. For
was
one more
meant
dollar, we can have
$2.9 billion. That's what that was supplemental
I said, we're gonna figure that. I
appropriation,
never asked anybody
which
if
was
we could afford
originally
it. One
intended
more
to
dollar,
boost
I
the
said
basic housing allowance
1776.
for,
And
which
I
is
said,
also
that's good.
called
And I'll tell you what,
BAH.
our military, that was
And
Four
then
months
he
ago, our
initially
military, I
basically
never
said it was
see
due
a
to
person in
credits.
the military that doesn't thank you
tariffs,
for it,
excuse
so
me.
we're honored to do it. They
And
deserve it.
yeah, that is
And,
definitely
we
not
1776. It
from
was great.
tariffs.
And we love our military. We love our law enforcement. We love our firemen. You know, the firemen don't get mentioned enough. We love our firemen. We're also restoring American security and dominance in the Western Hemisphere.
I don't know the
acting to
exact
secure
number.
our
I can
national
get it. I did
interests and defend our
interview.
country from violence, drugs, terrorism, and foreign interference. For
I interviewed
years,
two
large
today, actually,
swaths
that
of
said they were not
territory in our
going just for
region,
mental health
including
reasons.
large parts of Mexico,
But
really
I,
large
do not
parts
have
of
the full, you know what?
Mexico
Actually, let me ask my team.
have been
real quick.
controlled by murderous drug cartels. That's why I designated these cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and I declared illicit fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction.
Hold on, I just asked. I should have a second. I should have an answer here in a
And
minute.
with our new military campaign, we have stopped record amounts of drugs coming into our country
wanna
and
actually see
virtually
if that was
stopped it
put on the-
completely coming in by water or sea. You probably noticed that. We very seriously damaged their fishing industry also. Nobody wants to go fishing anymore. We've also taken down one of the most sinister cartel kingpins of all. You saw that yesterday. In January, elite American warriors carried out one of the most complex, spectacular feats of military competence and power in world history. No one's seen anything like it. Foreign leaders, I won't tell you who, called me and they said, very impressive, very impressive. They couldn't believe, they all watched, they saw what happened. This is a different fighting force than we had years ago when we fought to tie. You know, it's a great fighting force. I'm so proud of it. Look at Space Force. Space Force is my baby. As we did that, my baby is becoming so important. And America's armed forces overwhelmed all defenses and utterly defeated an enemy, good fighters, to end the reign of outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro and bring him to face American justice. And this was an absolutely colossal victory for the security of the United States, and it also opens up a bright new beginning for the people of Venezuela. We're working closely with the new president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, to unleash extraordinary economic gains for both of our countries and to bring new hope to those who have suffered so terribly. They really did suffer. With us tonight is Alejandro Gonzalez. She grew up in a tight-knit Venezuelan family and was especially close to her beloved uncle Enrique. But after Enrique ran for office and opposed Maduro, he was kidnapped by Maduro's security forces and thrown into the regime's really infamous prison in Caracas. Alejandro feared she would never see her uncle again. She feared for her own life also. But since the raid, we have worked with the new leadership, and they have ordered the closure of that vile prison and released hundreds of political prisoners already, with more to come. Alejandro, I'm pleased to inform you that not only has your uncle been released, but he is here tonight. We brought him over to celebrate his freedom with you in person. Enrique, please come down. Thank you, Enrique. Have a good time. Nice to have you back, Enrique. There were many heroes on that January raid to capture Maduro, really great heroes. It was very dangerous. They knew we were coming. They were all set. But the deeds of one warrior that night will live forever in the eternal chronicles of military valor. Chief Warrant Officer 5, Eric Slover, planned the mission and was the flight lead in the cockpit.
Okay, so according to somebody on the Hill right now and Axios,
helicopter
12 minutes ago,
massive
around half of Democrats skipped Trump's State of the Union tonight.
Many.
If you're still around, I don't know if you got that. But
wearing the
right
dog
now,
tags, his wife Amy had blessed with
is
holy water
that
before he
half
left. She
decided
knew it was
not to
gonna be
go.
a rough one. Eric steered the Chinook under the cover of night and descended swiftly upon Maduro's heavily protected military fortress. This was a major military installation, protected by thousands of soldiers and guarded by Russian and Chinese military technology. How did that work out? Not too good. While preparing to land, enemy machine guns fired from every angle, and Eric was hit very badly in the leg and hip, one bullet after another. He absorbed 4 agonizing shots, shredding his leg into numerous pieces. And yet, despite the fact that the use of his legs was vital to successful helicopter flight, legs are the most important part of flying a helicopter, to deliver the many commandos who would capture and detain Maduro was the only thing Eric was thinking about. Then, even as he was gushing blood, which was flowing back down the aisle, helicopter lands at a steep angle. The machine gun stood right in front of him. They were right in front of him, 2 machine gunners who escaped the wrath of the previous planes. Eric maneuvered his helicopter with all of those lives and souls to face the enemy and let his gunners eliminate the threat. Turned the helicopter around so the gunners could take care of business, saving the lives of his fellow warriors from what could have been a catastrophic crash deep in enemy territory. Only after safely landing the helicopter with all the warriors aboard in the exact right spot, which was vital to the mission, probably would have had to maybe cancel the mission if that didn't happen. Eric told his co-pilot, also wounded, but not as gravely, to take over. I'm about ready to pass out. The success of the entire mission and the lives of his fellow warriors hinge on Eric's ability to take searing pain. It was unbelievable what's happened to his legs of the bullets and keep on flying and landing, and people knew what was happening. Everybody in the back of the helicopter knew because they saw the blood pouring down the aisle. Chief Warrant Officer Slover is still recovering from his serious wounds, but I'm thrilled to say that he is here tonight with his wife, Amy. Eric and Amy, come on in. So we have a surprise for Eric and Amy. In recognition of Eric's actions above and beyond the call of duty, I would now like to ask General Jonathan Braga to present Chief Warrant Officer Slover with our nation's highest military award, the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Big deal.
Well, thank you very much, Eric and Amy. Great to get to know you. I met with them and with a lot of their fellow warriors at Fort Bragg recently. You notice the name Fort Bragg. We have it back. We brought it back. We won the First World War with it, the Second World War with it, and then they decided to change the name. So we changed it back. Everybody wanted to change back too. And 10 of Eric's fellow warriors from that incredible night of victory will also be receiving medals at a private ceremony that will soon be held at the White House. And Eric will be there. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. That's a big one. Tonight, we've celebrated many truly extraordinary American patriots, but there is one last living legend to honor before we go. He is one more heroic American.
You guys understand the controversy behind
Royce Williams
the name
in
Bragg
World War
for Fort
II,
Bragg and why
Korea,
they changed
Vietnam, flying more than
it? I mean, just in case you don't, I'm going to just explain to you
missions.
real quick. Okay, so
In disguise
the
over
name
Korea
Fort
in
Bragg
1952, Royce was in the
originated in
Dogfight
1918.
of a
Okay, the
lifetime.
post was
Legendary
originally
dogfight.
named
flying
for
through
a Confederate
blizzard conditions.
General
His squadron
Braxton
was
Bragg.
ambushed by 7
A
Soviet
decision
fighter
that was
planes.
made during the
It was
Jim
his
Crow
first
era.
aerial combat of the
All right,
war, and
and
despite being massively
I mean-
outnumbered and outgunned, Royce
Despite his
takedown of 4
reputation
enemy
as
jets
one of the
almost
Civil
destroyed the
War's
others,
least
vanquishing his adversaries
successful
while taking
generals.
263 bullets
I mean,
to his own plane and being seriously
he's a
hurt.
Confederate,
His story was
general
secret for
who
over
supported
50 years. He
slavery,
didn't even want
and
to tell us why,
they
but
changed the
legend
name
grew and grew.
in the Jim Crow era.
But tonight,
And
at
then they changed it
100
again.
years old, this
And then
brave
Trump
Navy
decided to bring
captain is
back,
finally getting the recognition he
the
deserves.
Jim Crow era
He was a
naming
legend long
of
before
the
this evening.
slave supporting
Royce, please stand
general,
up, and I
Confederate
will
general.
ask the First Lady of the United States to present Captain Royce Williams with his Congressional Medal of Honor.
Good for you, Royce Williams. You are a hero. You deserve that. Good for you. Good for you, brother. Yeah, the real Top Gun. Seriously. Jeez. There has not been fighting in the air like that since World War II, in my opinion. That's amazing. Good for you. Good for you. I'm sorry, but look at that man's face. Look at that man's face. That right there is probably the best moment of his life. And you know that not a lot of his life, but part of his life is hell, considering what he's been through. And I don't mean just when he was in World War II. I mean what he suffered with afterwards, the rest of his life. And I say that as a veteran that went to Iraq twice. I mean, I cannot imagine what these people went
Thank you,
through.
Eric. I've always wanted the Congressional Medal of Honor, but I was informed I'm not allowed to give it to myself, and I wouldn't know why I'd be.
No,
taking
you're not,
it,
you
but
narcissist.
If they ever open up that law, I will be there with you someday. But you know, that's our highest honor, Congressional Medal of Honor, and that's a big thing, and it's an honor to be in the same room with you. Thank you both very much, Eric. Thank you. Thank you. 250 years is a long time in the life of a nation, but in another sense, it's really a mere moment in the eye of history. Two of the gentlemen we met in the gallery this evening took their first breaths 1 century ago. 100
It's funny that you think
before that, on July
it is very embarrassing
4th,
that he's trying to they give
1826,
himself
the
all these
author of the
awards.
Declaration of
And the weird thing is, I just know
Independence,
he's not
brilliant.
embarrassed by it
Thomas Jefferson drew his last breath.
at all.
Just a single long human lifespan separates the giants who declared and won our independence from the heroes who stand among us tonight. Everything our nation has done, everything we have achieved, has been the work of those few great lifetimes.
You should ask Nick Valencia if he wants to
Those
do a
brief chapters
Substack live
Americans
after
built
this, just
nation
to
from
talk about
13
everything that went
humble
down.
colonies
Although I think
into the pinnacle of
No,
human
he's in-
civilization
he's,
and human freedom.
no, he's in
The
Mexico City
strongest,
right now, so he's
wealthiest,
in my
most
time
powerful,
zone.
most
I think.
successful
I think it's my
nation
time zone.
in all of history.
Do you know if he's going to go doing a
Americans
live, or
ventured
if he wants
out
to do a
across
live on
the
Substack?
daunting and dangerous continent. We carved paths through an unforgiving wilderness, settled a boundless frontier, and tamed the beautiful but very, very dangerous Wild West. From empty marshes
no
and
shame.
wide open plains, we raised up the world's greatest cities. Together, we mastered
you're
the
in Mexico
world's
with him? Oh, dude, that's
mightiest
amazing.
industries and shattered history's monstrous tyrannies. And we liberated millions.
Oh, no,
from
he's in
the
Mexico right now.
chains
Yeah,
of
yeah. He's in
Fascism,
Mexico City, yeah.
communism, oppression, and terror. Americans lifted humanity into the skies on the wings of aluminum and steel. And then we launched mankind into the stars on rockets powered by sheer American will and unyielding American pride. We wired the globe with our ingenuity. We captivated the planet with American culture. And now we
Are you living in
pioneering
Georgia?
the next
Is that
great
why you
American
sent that safest
breakthroughs
place?
that will
Not asking if you live
change
there, by the
the
way. Just
entire world.
near
All
there?
of this and so much more is the enduring legacy, unmatched glory of the hardworking patriots who built and defended this country and who still carry the hopes and freedoms on all of humanity's backs. For years, they were forgotten, betrayed, and cast aside. But that great betrayal is over, and they will never be forgotten again. Because when the world needs courage, daring, vision, and inspiration, it is still turning to America. And when God needs a nation to work his miracles, he knows exactly who to ask. There is no challenge
China.
Americans cannot overcome, no frontier too vast for us to conquer, no dream too bold for us to chase, no horizon too distant for us to claim. For our destiny is written by the hand of providence, and these first 250 years were just the
is he going to be
beginning.
there for No Kings?
From the rugged border towns of Texas to
I'll
the
have to,
heartland villages of
Oh, you're in
Michigan,
Los Angeles. Oh, I'm
from
in.
the sun-kissed
shouldn't say where
shores
I'm
of
from.
Florida to the endless fields of the Dakotas,
Let's get a beer.
and from the historic streets of Philadelphia to right here in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., the golden age of America is upon us. The revolution that began in 1776 has not ended. It still continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burns in the heart of every American patriot. And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more
Nice.
glorious than ever before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
Okay, so there's a positive here, guys. There was not one comment about conquering Greenland. That is a positive. There was no rhetoric about conquering Greenland. So that's something that we really need to make sure that we acknowledge. I feel like that's the only good thing that I can say, actually. I'm just hoping that I hear Representative Ilhan Omar one more time. Probably not, though. Too loud in there. Yeah, no worries, man. I appreciate your commenting.
The president, that was a home run.
Hey. Okay. All right.
Good job. Thank you. Thank you. Very well done.
Great job.
Oh, good. Good. See you. See you. Thank you.
Well done. Good job. Good man.
Thank you.
Excellent speech. Thank you.
Absolutely. So.
Thank you. Mr. President.
That's
President.
Thank you.
That's that.
He's the president.
Thank you.
Where you going, man?
Thank you for honoring those veterans. Good. I think you should take the rest of the day off.
I think we have to. We're going to have to. Thank you.
All right, guys.
You killed it.
Thank you. Thank you, Virginia.
It was amazing.
You killed it.
Home run. Really, grand slam.
I don't care who you are. Lying for that long is not an easy thing to do.
I want that time. Give me that time.
Put it on initial, just an initial.
Wow.
Thank you, Bob. I like that time.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Mr. President, outstanding speech, sir. Mr. President.
Thanks for mentioning. You did good. They love the insider trading stuff.
Great guy. How's he doing? He's a youngster. Well done, sir.
fell asleep
Thank
a couple times.
You did amazing. You really did.
You're done.
Great speech. Proud of you.
Great job, Mr. President. Thanks for your leadership. President, well done. God bless you. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, fellas.
Yeah, no, that sounds great, man. Have him reach out to me. I'm in the studio, so I'll I can just jump on.
Yes, sir.
So that's amazing. Thank you so much. And it was really good talking with you on here. You,
everybody. Great job.
I hope I'm following you. If I'm not following you, do me a favor, go into that comment, my last video, and comment anyway, so I can make sure I am following you, so I can hit you up.
That's a nice coming from you.
I asked you.
It's also the longest.
Great job.
Also the longest. President.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Still need to talk to you.
Yeah, I wanna. That way, I can pick you up when I'm back in LA, which I should be taking the train to very soon. All right, everybody that was here and that came in and left and came in and left, and everybody that was here, I appreciate your time, your trust, and I look forward to doing this again with you if you found value in it. And I'll make sure that it's posted on my Substack tonight, and I'll also have it posted on my YouTube tonight. Or possibly, I'll schedule it and post it. No, I'll schedule it tonight. That's fine. I'll have it posted tonight for you guys.
All right, then.
Hey, you're too kind, man. I appreciate you. I love being a guest on your guys' show.
President Trump's speech was 1 hour and 47 minutes, the longest on record.
Yeah, but I think 20
got about
minutes
5
of that was
before the
clapping.
Democratic response. We're going to show you the numbers. We're going to take your calls a little bit later. You can see the numbers there. We want to get your
All
response.
right, you guys, you have a good
to the
night.
President's State of
Go
the
watch
Union
something
address.
positive.
202 is the area
So,
code for all of the
yes,
number
you made-
748-8921 for Republicans.
Awesome.
748
I appreciate you saying
8920
that.
for Democrats. 202
Have a good night, everyone.
748-8922 for Independents. Now, if you want to send a text message and you can't get through on the phone lines, 202